very Pisces season silence if I hadn't done that. So I'm going to check that you can actually hear me, because you wouldn't have been if I hadn't done that. So let me see. I'm not showing up yet. I did press public. I done that yesterday before I started. I hadn't changed it from private to public. I'm sure I did. But it would have showed up. But oh no, there it is. Right. Patience. Oh, that thumbnail looks quite good. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you've always been able to do that. I think you have. But I don't know, that looks quite good for just. So I'm hanging in my bed, guys. So let's check if I can hear this. Yeah, right. Okay, so hopefully we don't get like the weird kind of troll bot people, but oh my god, the chances are probably quite likely, because Venus and Pisces at the very end of it is like, it's very like romantic and dreamy and fantasy and just unicorns and butterflies and rainbows, and but it is like I said, it is like love bomber central and confusion, illusion, like lies, you know, like if someone was to have that placement and not have done the work, I'd imagine there would be quite a big liar. Do you know what I mean? And again, like, you know, if you have got Venus and Pisces at whatever degree, you could be like the sweetest, like kindest, gentlest, very psychic, you know, all that, like it's got all this amazing stuff, but yeah, just it could be in Venus, you know, that's particularly, it could be like a lot of smoke and mirrors, and yeah, it could, you know what I mean, it's just like a fantasist kind of, yeah, setting the scene and not really kind of delivering on what they're saying. It just reminds me of a love bomber, you know. So anyway, hopefully we're not picking up on too much of that, although, right, I'm just going to set a wee goal on this. So I don't really want to be any longer than, I know I say this all the time, guys, what is even the point in doing that? I'm just setting that wee goal thing because it's annoying if I don't. It's just in my, oh god, goal. Yeah, so I'm just going to check once more. The volume's on, isn't it? Yeah. So guess who's back again? It's quite funny that I've just sat there for 8 hours and I'm like, oh, just wake up and get doing it again. That's when you know you're following your calling. But no, in all seriousness, I was meant to have a client, but I don't know, I just had a feeling when I woke up. Like obviously I set my alarm like an hour before, but I'd been up for a few hours anyway, because like the like a couple of parcels came and woke me up, which was fun. But no, I'd had enough sleep. I don't need a lot of sleep, so I'd had enough sleep. But yeah, that's worked out quite well for me. That's how Mercury retrograde can go in your favour sometimes, because I'd said that to that person. I was like, you know, I was okay to do the session, but it was more the time wise, like it was going to mean that by the time, because I was just going to sit and do that session in my jammies like I am right now doing this, and it's then I would have, you know, needed to get ready and everything. And whereas now, but to be honest with you, I still might do the live streams on my jammies, but it just, you know, but I feel all right, so I will do them. But I don't know, my orange jumper's calling to me, and it's kind of feeling like it's a Libra moon kind of colour. And that'll wake me up a bit because it's bright orange. That's what and again, I need to, because that's why I painted my nails that colour and I never even wore the jumper. So, and they're terribly, they were like all chipped, and then I just chucked it back on again. So, just being a bit Virgo placement about that. But anyway, so, yeah, let's crack on with this. So yeah, if you are watching this and you don't end up watching all of it, and you just want, I don't know, just to let you know I'll be back or whatever. Oh, I can't even talk. I will be live later. And if I remember, I want to switch into the membership after this. But it just means I'll be doing so I'll start with Virgo and then I'll do, oh yeah, I see what I mean, I'm forgetting about it. I'm doing Virgo, then Libra moon. Yeah, so I'll start with Virgo quite early. So like it's 3:10 just now. So I'm going to do this when the alarm goes off in about 25 minutes or something, and hopefully I could wrap this up if I've not finished it already. And then I'll go into the membership for a wee bit and hang out. And and that's just, I'm just going in the membership for just to hang out, because I've not been able to hang out live in a while. But like I said, I'm low energy. Even if I hadn't done that last night, I always get more tired towards this time. I'll be way more able to give you the best part of me next week, people. So that's what I just said to my lovely person I was meant to be having the session with just now, is that, next week's better anyway for everyone. I've got just now, I've not got anyone next week, but I'm sure that I probably will work with that person next week. But I've not got anything else. So I've got lots of space next week. What else? Yeah, I think that's it. So yeah, let's crack on with this. Oh, wait a minute. I'll put in that as well. Yeah, so talking of the membership, if you would like to join the membership, we've got the first and the second level that are active just now, and I'll be in both levels. I'll just go live in it and it goes into both levels. And yeah, right. And you find out what happens when you get in there, I guess. Right, so I mentioned this yesterday, but that deck that I was talking about, there was a deck that I just happened to serendipitously stumble across in the way that my mystical Lilith and Pisces self does. And I'm homing in on that because I was just like, oh, that's spicy. Again, spicy isn't the word, but spicy in the way of like feisty. And that explains that I'm thinking I'm kind of feeling Venus and Aries, but it's actually the sun's conjunct my Lilith right now. So it's like, that's a bit of badassery right there, because I always feel like I'm in that energy all the time anyway, because it's just basically giving zero fucks. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is who I am. Whether you like me or not, I've taken a long time to accept myself and love myself unconditionally. So I encourage you to do the same. But that's a big, when you've got, okay, I didn't think I was going to channel about this, but it makes sense with the Venus and at the last of Pisces just now with the sun. I mean, it's not like they're not conjunct, but basically, when you have Lilith in Pisces, wherever it is in your chart, it does attract an extreme amount, and I mean an extreme amount of insane jealousy, because of how in tune you are, because of how psychic you are. So, yeah, if you have got that placement, I feel your pain. I can think of at least 2 people off the top of my head, 2 women that have that, and it's not the best, but again, 2 fellow incredibly in tune but also very sensitive women like myself. So there's a lot of that's now making a ton of sense of again, if you weren't on the one last night, it's 8 hours, so there's sort of the fill your week up with if you're wanting to do the dishes and that, listening to me chatting to the Soul family. It was really fun. And again, honestly, I didn't have a clue. I didn't think it'd been 8 hours. Like, it's just great when you're sitting in that energy. The hours just like fly by. So yeah, that was kind of nuts. Again, I think that might be like a full moon ritual thing that we do. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's because like, I don't often say the word ritual, right? Because it's like I'm very sensitive to words, and it's like I don't like the word ritual because I always think of like, the horrible rituals that the fucking horrible fuckers do in the world. But a ritual is just something you do every day. Do you know what I mean? And with the Virgo moon being when I was doing that last night, and then I chatted us into the Libra moon, that is about your everyday routine, and your rituals and your job. It's like whatever you do every day, or if you don't work, it's kind of like if you're retired or you're just out at work or something, it's what do you do? How do you fill your time? You know what I mean? What do you do each day? And it's but I don't know, something tells me like that we might do that, like, you know, that maybe that kind of is a thing, because I don't want to make a habit of it, but it's just whenever there's a massive like horrible thing happening in the world, and I mean, look at how many horrible things are happening right now. When I sit for that long, it's not just about my ability to send that healing out, it's about all of us together as, like, you know, powerful healing souls, like, that have got an intention to hold the light. It really does send that energy out there. Right, so this is taking me on to here, actually. I will get onto these, but like I said, I had just got serendipitously drawn to these cards that were about toxic relationships. And I was like, oh, it's not the cheeriest, is it? And then I thought, well, look how much I have to help people with that. And when I kind of had a wee look before I bought them, they're going to have some bad cards in it, but I like the way that it sort of, I like the way that it frames it, because rather than being like, you know, get out of this toxic relationship, it seems like I've not even looked through them all. I just picked one, you know, I just shuffled and picked one. I may or may not have said, what is it that, what is it that would help? What is it that would help me and whoever might not be talking to me? And so it was just quite funny that I think of all the ones that could have came out, because I'm assuming there's, like, if it's called toxic relationships, there's not going to be the best. I thought it was quite nice that that one came out. Refusing to listen. Well, it's not nice, you know, it's not nice if someone's refusing to listen to you, but the picture's nice, isn't it? And again, that silhouette, I mean, I don't know. This guy's silhouette, not really. That's not really given, I can't remember, it's been so long, but that's not really given my twin flames here, I don't think. But maybe if you just woke up or something. But encourage active listening and express your need to be heard and understood. But pretty on point. I can't, again, I'm not in a relationship, but I am in a dynamic, and I would say that's pretty spot on. You know what I mean? But I am not refusing to listen to him, so, you know. And he might not be refusing to listen to me either, but I don't know. I wouldn't know, because I'm not trying to get him to listen to me, am I? So I'm just doing my thing. So anyway, that is a beautiful picture, isn't it? Encourage active listening and express your need to be heard and understood. But I'm sharing it because it's a beautiful picture, but I feel that will be for a lot of other people too. And I know what this is about, because I've said before, oh God, I didn't want to make this about, oh fuck, I knew I shouldn't have said, I should have said, oh, I picked a card. But I see what I mean, that's the bit about the lying thing. That would be, I would feel like I was lying if I was like, oh, I just picked a random card for that. No, I picked it for myself. Do you know what I'm saying? But it's like, that's because we've got a lot of planets that are opposite, you know, so you've got to be willing to allow the one person to talk and the other person listen. And then, right, you hold the talking stick, now you can hold, you know what I mean? Sorry, as I'm wanting to laugh now saying that, but you know what I mean? Like the feather, the stick, whatever, the spoon, and now I'll talk. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I think, you know, should that connection ever come about in my life, friend or otherwise, I think we'll need to work out something like that. That's my perspective on it. But right, so anyway, moving on from that, but that'll be funny. I'll put it back and see if it comes out again. But also look at I like the back of the cards. You know what I mean? I like pictures with no words as well, because that's very Venus and Pisces. Pisces doesn't need words. And that picture's like telling a story, isn't it? I'm not talking to you. Well, I'm not talking to you. We'll just fucking sit here and not talk to each other then. And then that comes. Oh God. Sorry, I'm just laughing because astrology is so real. Because if you do know what Lilith is about, and if you've been here long enough and you didn't know and you heard me talking about it, this is what you know what I mean. I'm being a bit sassy because it's like it is about empowerment, and like as I've said before, the way that a woman would explain Lilith is very different from how I've noticed a man would explain it, because they would go on about the probably toxic mothers and that, and if that's, you know, even or just stuff to do with toxic, so like things to do with women, which totally is a thing too, because there's light and shadow. But if you harness the energy of your Lilith, which is what I won't talk about it too much because I might start crying, but you might, his energy might be around helping with this. But the late Gregory Scott, that was an astrologer that died last year when I was upset about that, I had a session with him back in 2020 when all that craziness was going on. And when he looked at my chart, he had said, well, he's the one that said, wow, your energy is like electric for, oh, wow, that's weird. I said electric. I don't remember. Maybe he did say that. I don't remember him saying that specifically, but it was something like that. Your energy is amazing for live streams. Like, I just wouldn't even bother doing anything else. There wouldn't be any point. Like, I think you'd be bored if you were sitting filming a video on your own. And I was like, well, no, I find it quite therapeutic actually doing it on my own. But he's right in the sense that they don't get a lot of views, you know what I mean? But they do still help people, because I've had people book sessions from the ones that have only got, a handful of views in that. So it's not like, from a business point of view, there's not that there's no point if you get a client out of that. But it's, from my point, it's because I'm not about the money. It's actually just the fact that somebody obviously needed that message and it spoke to them. Hello. But, business wise, it's, if you get a booking from it, it's always worth it as well. Oh, God. That person's like, I'm hiding it so you won't be able to see it. But that person said hello. No, that person said hi. And then that's why I said hello like that, because I thought, what's coming next? And they said, stop talk. Well, no, I won't stop talking, actually. So do you know what I mean? Good luck to the trolls coming on when the sun's conjunct my Lilith anyway. This could be fucking hilarious. That, that explains why, yes, remember when the person came on yesterday, they said, shut up. And I was like, no, you shut up. You know what I mean? It's like, because that's, like I said, that isn't my usual, you know what I mean? That I just thought it was maybe because I hadn't done a live for ages, but that's what it was. It's because it's like you're picking a fight with the wrong person on that day, especially today. But look at my mug. Remember I always say sloth mode, and that's what I'm in today, because I always like to slow down before the moon goes into my 12th house, and advise everyone to. That is my favourite topic, if you haven't noticed, because I just don't feel anyone emphasises that enough, that if you don't slow down for that transit, you could get very ill. And I actually proved my own theory a month ago, because that's what, I didn't actually talk about that. I meant to. Wait a minute, that would be a hilarious thumbnail, wouldn't it? But I mean, I don't know, there's lots of thumbnail options. That was the minute, and I mean right to the minute, because I think the sun moved into my 12th house at like 9 at night, 18:04 in the timer, inner union, and that's actually what this message is about when I get to it. That's when I got ill. Like, my nose started running. I was like, whoa, what the hell? Is this the allergy to the dog? And I was like, whoa, shit, no, this is how the flu starts, from what I remember, because it had been that long. And then, yeah, by the next day, I was fucking, horrendous. So that's scary, isn't it? That, like, the moon's only in your 12th house for, like, I think, like, roughly, it's like a whole day anyway, but sometimes it can be like a day and a half. I don't think it's as much. Hello, Lexi, how are you doing? It's quite funny when I get that excited, isn't it? But that's because you're a Venus in Aries, and the Aries, wait a minute, you're Venus in Aries too, aren't you? That's tomorrow. As well as the Aries sun and moon. We've got a fiery woman here. I just feel icy. Oh, interesting. Well, I was just saying that I have got the sun is conjunct my Lilith. So I'm saying that I've been saying I'm feeling icy, icky. Oh, I'm sorry you're feeling icky. I'm feeling spicy, but like with that kind of sass, because it's like I didn't even know that I just felt that something, again, it was my mystical, because that's very psychic as well, that placement. I was like, something, I feel extra like mystical. I feel extra mystical. Do you know what I mean? I know I'm mystical all the time, but and that's why. So the insight today could actually be really very, I don't know, just have an extra edge to it. Emotional and icky. I got one more day till this freaking retrograde is over. What do you mean? The mystical, magical? Oh, yeah. Wait a minute, I'm so confused. What retrograde are you talking about? Because even if is Mercury retrograde and because it's not really, because we'll then be in the shadow. You got me a yeah, what retrograde are you talking about? No, Mercury retrograde. Who told you that? Somebody lied to you. Mercury retrograde is officially on until the 19th. And then we'll be in the shadow, like, don't quote me on this, but we'll be in the shadow for like 2 weeks after that. Fucking mean, well, that makes sense. See, you see, that is a brilliant example of what I say all the time. Like, it's kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, it's, I don't know, maybe somebody's Googled and they got the wrong information. I mean, that's, by the way, that can happen. I do that sometimes. That's why I always say, take it with a pinch of salt, because, you know, I know that some people see me as being very exact and very on the ball with astrology and stuff, but, you know, I am in my own way. I mean, you know this, Lexi, but I'm just saying for other people, oh, my eyes got homed in and it has birthday numbers there. So that, by the way, that matters. See, when I'm on a live stream and they homed my eyes in on my birthday numbers and my twin flames, and I started off by saying, this is the card I pulled for it. just to share for anyone that might care. This is what's going on in my sorry, it's like fucking hell. It's just very on point. And again, I'm happy though, because there's a lot of other cards that could have came out. I haven't looked at them, but I'm assuming the other ones could be worse. I'll maybe have a wee shuffle off camera and see what else comes out. But Alexa, you arrived after I showed, but do you like my sloth mode mug? I thought it was very me. I had to have it. It's quite a posh mug too. It wasn't like really expensive, but it was like, you know, it was maybe a tenner or something. But yeah, it's nice. I love it. Do you know what? It actually reminds me of my cousin. My cousin and my auntie. I don't know why. That's given they like. I don't know why. It looks like something they would have in their house. But yeah. Anyway, let's kind of that. By the way, I'm going to switch. That alarm is going to go off, and I'm still going to be. Look, it's got it's 1 minute 26 in the timer. Well, that didn't happen. I fail terribly at doing the 15-20 minute lives, don't I? Lexi, by the way, I don't know if you're still around. I was actually going to, if it allows me to, I can't see the option on here right enough. I was going to go from here into the membership. Where is that option? I'm not actually seeing it. That's weird. Hide live video. What the fuck does that mean? Lighting, close. Oh, I don't want to fuck about this because I might knock it off. Yeah, that's weird. Where's the... I'm so confused. The option to go from... Because that's usually how I do it, isn't it? It's like I had... When I was going to go in the membership, oh, it's fine. I'll just come off and go in the membership. But usually it... You know, it done... Maybe they took that away. Maybe that was like a feature... That maybe they took that away. Maybe that wasn't work. But remember, I did see a lot of flaws in that because it wasn't when it switched from public to members. I don't know if you were here when that. So I think I know Charlotte that had been here when they'd done that. It wasn't like you had to still come off and find a live stream, so it was kind of pointless. You know, it creates a wee bit of excitement. I liked singing the final countdown, but that's kind of weird. Right. Okay. Anyway, so let's get into this. So. I'm going to read this. So if you weren't on the 8-hour live last night, this is what... So there's a few things, actually. If you watch the shorts, what's really cool is, on the first... I done 2 shorts last night, and the shorts that I pulled first, I pulled... Oh, God, I can't remember them all now. Actually, shit, this is really weird, because that was actually the cards about that I associate with my journey too. But anyway, I pulled the electric card and I pulled crystal clear visions, which is really kind of hilarious with all the synchronicities I'm seeing in this. But I'm sure this, I'm sure it was like I'm sure I picked feminine twin. I don't know where I picked that now. I can't even fucking remember. Maybe that was on last night, but I'm sure it was on the shorts. It was like feminine activating higher self and masculine releasing lower self, right? Which I don't like the masculine word, and I always sort of change it to the masculine releasing the lower timeline, and the feminine is shifting the masculine into the highest timeline. You know what I mean? For themselves, but that brings you together. Because if you're true twin flames, it's what both people would want, you know what I mean? Which is why I'm saying if your twin flame is, well, not specifically talking about me mind here, but I'll just sort of click on this a minute. It's like, if your twin flame is refusing to listen to you, they're not, you know, they're not in the same energy, they're not in the same frequency, do you know what I mean? So there's no point. It would be like trying to talk to somebody you speak a different language, like just leave it until everything sort of shifts. And that could take years, guys. So it's like, but it's, you know, these connections are worth the wait. So anyway, after the 8-hour live, which I always pull a card, no matter how long it is, and I ask, what is it what was the main purpose of me doing that? Or, you know, particularly last night, I was interested in it because it was like, oh, like, you know, I didn't mean to be that long, but there's always a reason. And I had said before I got off, like, because what was interesting is I haven't watched that back. I just found the timestamps for the first two signs that I'd missed. And thank you again to Beck, because Beck got all the other timestamps. And and I don't know if we'll do that again, because I mean, it's like, you know, again, actually, so I'm all over the place today, but we're just going to go with if you want me to do that, right, like I said, I think I would commit to doing that once a month. We'll try around the full moon. But if people liked me going through all the signs like that, it wouldn't always be 8 hours, guys. Like, I'd imagine, like, sometimes it might be like an hour or that. It really just depends. In fact, it will always be long, actually, because of the full moon gives me more energy. But just let me know if you liked it, you know, because I'll integrate that into the things that I do if you liked it. But if people aren't really too fussed, normally people just go with the flow with how I go, but I'm just interested if people like that way. Because like I said, I just feel like the messages all merge into one another anyway. So I don't know, you let me know, it's about what you want. But yeah, after I finished, I was like, right, what was that all about? And I had said that I felt it was like, you know, I was coming on to help with the upgrades and the, you know, the light body and light code activations, because anytime I'm channeling anything, it's about the light code activations. But because I have just went through like a huge shift, like it's about sharing this new energy that none of us are used to, because it's new energy, right? And so it was just kind of nuts that had come, some of these cards had come out in the shorts, and that came out right before I ended the live stream, which is why it's sitting there, right? But I shit you not, when I shuffled these cards again, like, so I shuffled these all again is the point, right? Like, that came out, activating the higher self, right? That came out again. So when I was myself, we need to... The weirdos are going to come out in this energy, trust me. All he wrote was what, but we knew where that was going. So bye, Jason. Like, and that'd be extra funny if somebody's got a Jason they need to say bye to or something. And then that came out, light body. I was like, wow, this is really amazing. Because the thing is, the reason that that's really wow, right? Sorry, I'm taking ages to get to the point here today, but it's, you know, it's fine. Like I said, sloth mode, the mug is appropriate. That's the reason I bought the deck. Like, I cannot explain to you, that was so mystical. Like, I serendipitously came across this and I was like, oh, I've not seen that before. Is it new? And it's not new. It's been out a few years. I don't know, like, if it's like years and years and years, but it's not like new. I'm just looking at when it was, if I can see in the book when it came out. Oh no, it is kind of new. 2 years ago. Yeah, so it's kind of new. It's not like a really old one, right? So when I saw it, obviously, like I said, because dolphin reminds me of the inner child, and I've had sessions where people can feel very connected to dolphins, and you might notice that whenever I talk about New Earth, I have to put a dolphin. Like, I get really annoyed if I can't put a dolphin. And actually, I think that happened yesterday. I couldn't put the dolphin in because I connect dolphins and whales, but specifically dolphins with New Earth frequency. And I feel, this is really deep, but I feel, that's me loving, like, being obsessed with dolphins when I was younger is a huge part of, like, connected to why I'm so in that New Earth frequency where not many people are. Now, obviously, I'm not in the right place saying that here because a lot of you are as well. But, generally speaking, not that many people on the planet are in that frequency, right? So that's basically what this is all about. I knew exactly what they meant when I pulled it out. I was put on there to be sitting there for that long, bringing those of you that are open to it into the higher timeline, activating your light bodies, preparing you for your true twin flame union, right? Whenever that is, let go of the timing, merging the souls together. You know what I mean? So it's pretty deep, isn't it? It is very Lilith and Pisces, which is not where Lilith is, that's where mine is, but the sun is conjunct my Lilith. Like empowering people. So, but with you and your twin flame on your own, it's like feminine twin is activating the higher timeline, light code activations, light body, shifts, and whatever you want to call it, and soul merger. Because for me, this card, right? This card means different things for me. Sometimes it's like that's happening in the energy, like in the astral realms, like connecting in your dreams, and that's so Pisces season, like right now, like you could do, I don't know about you, but the dreams I'm having are so trippy. Like, especially last night, like, well, it wasn't last night, it was this morning when I went to sleep, because I don't think I went to sleep till after 6. Oh yeah, that was crazy. Those cards arrived at 11:11. I'm not kidding. I couldn't believe that. That happened before. That happens actually quite a lot when I order a deck of cards. Like, the postie comes at exactly 11:11, or the Amazon guy. And it was like, because I was still half asleep, because you think about it, I hadn't been asleep for that long. And then the buzzer went. And like, when I looked at the time, I looked on the clock and I thought, I went to look at the exact time and it was 11:12. But that was because he's thingied it that he's delivered it. So it was literally, he handed me them at 11:11. I thought, whoa, that's pretty nuts as well. So it's all about divine timing. And then if you look at the post in the community tab, it showed me a memory from 3 years ago, and the card was the time is now, and it had transformation. It had something about your bond is about to deepen. So this is a very deep message. Right, okay, that's good. Yeah, that's good. So that's what the energy is about. It's more of a, like, it is a listening energy today. So whether it's you, Lexi, or anyone else, oh, for fuck's sake. Piss off, trolls. That's because I've just that's the power of sage. Like, meaning I didn't use it. So I'm how I always say, like, I teach people, like, where, what I mean, my bad. It's kind of like I didn't grab the sage, but I'm asking for the energetic sage. But I did protect the space with my usual what I do, but it's also just the energy's a bit strange anyway. So, right, anyway, so let's read this now. So, light body. The light body is your means to progress from the human configuration to the form needed to return to source. You're on top of it today. You're snapping them out before me. I'm so snail mode. That's fine. No, it's maybe, do you know what? Then will I loosen the reins there a bit? It was I'll let you do it if you want to do it, because actually I'm going to be reading this now. But no, I am quite quick. Like I said, if ever I've been like a moderator, which obviously, like I said, I never talk on people's thing. Well, not never. I don't. Yeah, I'm selective. But if ever I have been honoured with the spanner person, people say that I'm very quick at that. But I did actually do, like, years ago. I actually was that on a couple more. But it's yeah, it's just when your energy changes and stuff. It's I retreated more. So that's why I say I get it. Like, I love when people chat, like, in the live stream and stuff, and that's obviously people enjoy me being there chatting and stuff as well. But it's like, Well, obviously you wouldn't be as funny. Enjoy people. I wouldn't be, the chat wouldn't be there if I wasn't. Well, actually, that's not true. Because, you know, you can have the chat when the person's not there, but I don't trust doing that because it's like anyone could show up, and so I don't tend to do that. If the chat's on, like if it's a video where I'm not live, I'm there hanging out, usually talking to my fucking self. Like, do you mean I'm usually just talking away, like commenting the video and nobody's there? That's quite funny. But yes, I will let you do that if you're around. I didn't know whether maybe if you're at work or that, and it's like I thought I better just kind of keep an eye. But right, so the light body is your means to progress from the human configuration to the form needed to return to source. If the objective of your being as an enlightened soul is to become one with the universe, then the initiation of your light body is what advances you to expand towards this goal. So no, just dying of nausea. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Me and you don't like Pisces. I mean, I'm just speaking for you there, but I'm sure you don't like it Pisces season as much as I don't. We're nearly in Aries, hen. Just hang on. Well, I don't know about nearly. The 20th. It's kind of, you know, it's a bit far away, isn't it? It's only what day is today? It's today the 5th. The 5th, yeah. You know what though, Lexi? Reframe it, right? Because what I feel about this is Venus is in Aries tomorrow, so that will help. Trust me, your energy will shift with that, because I'm pretty sure one of your placements is like early Aries. Or am I imagining that? Nah, I know that your Saturn's like midpoint, but I'm sure something is. Hello, Louise. I'm just doing a general reading, so if you resonate with it, you resonate with it, but I'm not doing personal readings just now. And if you're a genuine soul that's kind of stumbled across this, you're welcome to hang around. But we seem to be getting a lot of trolls, so but also, yeah, no, Lexi, you could have kept that if you want. I mean, we could do that actually. Lexi, that can stand. If you can put that back in if you want. That's what I'll do. So, but it might be a while because I've got to read this first and I've got to do the general. I could pull you a card before I get into the general bit of it, but this might take if you're. I was just, because we've had a few trolls, I was just trying if you're a troll. Sorry, Louise, if you're not. Right, okay, so right, I'm going to read this. So, your light body has several layers over the physical body. They're called energetic, astral, mental, and causal bodies. Talents and abilities beyond your 5 physical senses stem from your light body. Many spiritual traditions taught variations of this idea. Okay, we'll give you the benefit of the doubt, Louise. Their sages understood that all things in existence are composed of energy. Solid matter is the condensing of energy-generating substances. Comprehending how to utilize form optimally was the word of the sages and is now becoming the practice of the awakened collective. But can I just stress how on point that card is, considering that I'm the one channeling the message, right? For the divine, for God. That when it's talking about sages and stuff, like having Pisces, like Lilith and Pisces alone is very much like that. But because the sun is like illuminating that, this feels like it could be quite a significant message. But I feel probably the significant message was probably in amongst the 8 hours last night. But I don't know, this could be, I'm going to be quite interested whatever comes out either on this wee one or later on. So, because I just love that the words are the awakened collective. Like, that's who I'm here to talk to, the awakened collective, and the parts of the collective that are open to awakening. So whether it's your twin flame or anyone else, you can't talk to people that are refusing to listen. Like, that's why I've not got a lot of friends around me that I had before, because they start to not be able to hear what you're saying. Like, that's a real thing. Like, first they don't get you mentally, then they don't get you. I don't know what order it is, but it's like they'll start to not understand you mentally. Spiritually, no, I think it's spiritually they don't get it, and then mentally they'll start to be like, well, they probably think you're nuts, or they just don't get it because they can't comprehend it. And then emotionally, they don't get what, they just can't, you're not connecting. And then lastly, sadly, physically, you disappear from their life. Like, you're literally not on the same timeline. I think I just said the deep thing there, because I'm just a conduit for God speaking right now. And I mean, that sounded really heavy. Well, maybe God, fuck, that was really strong. But you know what I mean? It's like God and the angels and ancestors and loved ones and spirit. But like, that's really the point, is you're not on the same timeline as your twin flame, So it's like, there's no point forcing that. If someone isn't willing to listen, they're not awakened to the connection, like you are, until they are. And you'll know all about it, because you wouldn't need to chase down an awakened twin flame. Like, they'll be knocking down your door. That's how you know they're ready. Maybe not literally, but So when we feel confused, lost or depressed, and closed off from the world and ourselves, this indicates that the light body's various layers are disconnected and in disharmony. Eventually, we become so cut off that any prospect of evolution or returning to source is denied. This card reminds you of how to reverse this and how to attain the light body. Unlock the body's subtle energy centers by harmonizing and balancing the chakras, clearing the inner channels, which is why, that's why a lot of the reason why I'm able to do it. Obviously, it's just my soul's calling, but like, I have literally been pulling the light like down my chakras, just silently to myself. It's what I still do every day. When like I said, the first thing I do when I wake up is I pray for myself, my twin flame, everyone in my life that I care about, I kind of say something like everyone in my life, everyone in his life, and I always include even the people that don't like me and don't like, it's basically, I just pray for everyone, and if they're open to it, they're open to it, and then I pray for the membership, and I pray for everyone subscribed to the channel. And again, if nobody's open to it, they'll bat it off. It's all about if your soul is open to it. And if I know that there's anyone going through like significant pain, like unfortunately somebody in the soul family has had a recent loss. And do you know what's really weird too? How mystical is this? I actually happened to email the person that I had no idea that person had experienced stuff. Like, I think, I'm assuming it was a close loss anyway. Like, I just felt guided to email, and I was like, it was just a quick wee sort of check-in, like an email. And like I said, that I don't know that person doesn't know me that well, and it's kind of like, but I just felt guided to do it. And then that's when that person will know if they ever watch this on replay, but like, that's when they said, oh, I've just had a lot, because it was quite strange. Like, I happened to mention, somebody close in the soul family is going through this, and then that's when that person told me. So, but what I'm now reflecting on is, I'm really psychic like that all the time anyway, but that is clearly because the sun is conjunct my Lilith. It was like something just told me that person needs us to pray for them too. Like extra, so just keep that in mind if you are thinking about the person I said that's supporting a family member that's, close to passing. Because I haven't heard. So again, if that person does happen to watch this, which I think is highly unlikely with everything going on right now, I'll update when I'm allowed to. I'll ask, like, it's but yeah, just keep the other person in your prayers too, because they've just lost somebody. So there's a lot of sadness. What's really, again, what's sad about astrology too, it's on point in that way. Like, Pisces is about grief, it is about endings, it is about the afterworld and stuff. So, oh my God, I've been trying to do everything that you've said. What do you mean, like clearing chakras? Oh, that's how it happens, Louise. If you've just randomly stumbled across this, it does make sense if that's resonating. But yeah, anyway, wow. See what I mean? The messages are quite deep. I keep floating off into Never Neverland here. That is Pisces energy, though. If everyone else is feeling like that, that's perfectly normal. And it's a wee bit more with me, because when I'm a bit more tired, it's like it makes me even more kind of floaty. Right, so Eventually become so caught. Oh yeah, that basically, I'll finish what I was saying though. That, and also Pisces is prayer too. Although I talk about prayer all the time, Pisces is prayer. Oh fuck, actually, do you know what we didn't do? I normally like to pull one of these like before. The Lord will keep you from all harm. He will catch you over your life. The faithful love of the Lord never ends. His mercies never cease. There we go. I just like to do that. I feel it as like my wee, that's one of my wee rituals to protect the energy. Right. So, but yes, I have basically carried the light up and down my chakras for as long as I can remember. Like even, I remember like now, when was that? That was 2012. I went to New York with my sister. And I remember being on the subway and I was teaching my sister, who is like so not into all of this, it's not even funny. But like she was quite open at that point in her life actually. But like I was kind of just explaining to her that like, because there's a lot of hustle and bustle and kind of a bit dodgy energy sometimes on the subway. I was like, imagine that you're surrounded in a protective bubble. And and like she could tell when I was doing that. Like people in my life can tell when I'm like, I might be quite silent, but like you know what I mean? Like I'm talking to God or something, or I'm listening more, like, you know what I mean? And it's but at that point it's like, and like I said, I don't think she would be in tune with me like that now. Well, sometimes she is actually. Sometimes it's kind of funny, like, sometimes it's like, because I was really quite touched actually when my sister, when I was baby, I don't know why I'm talking about this. So maybe somebody's having stuff with siblings or something, or because when I was babysitting my nieces, like this was, I don't know, sometime last, no, I don't know if it was last year or the year before, but because I don't have Netflix, because I really don't like all, anyway, I just feel Netflix is a lot of like really bad condition and stuff with some of the films that they put on there. I think there's some really toxic brainwashing going on, like more so than just the normal telly kind of thing. But, when I'm there, I'm going to pick a film or something. And anyway, long story short, she was like, oh, you would really love this, right? And it was that one that I mentioned yesterday, the Nobody Wants This. So I thought that was quite interesting. Do you know what I mean? Because it's about, it's like a rabbi and a like kind of potty-mouthed person that's got a podcast, right? That it's like basically it's a unlikely pairing. And people are trying to stop it because he's just broke off an engagement. So with the fact of me going on about that could be relevant because that did come up in one of the signs last night. That, you know what I mean? It's like the guy breaks off the engagement because he's not happy and the woman's really controlling. Because I think she actually is, that's a comedy, that series. If you haven't, actually, do you know what, actually? There's new episodes have been released of that ages ago and I haven't seen them. So maybe I need to go and watch that her soon. But anyway, I'm just going on about that because that surprised me that I was like, oh, you know what I mean? That she knew that would be my cup of tea. But anyway, so maybe somebody's going to surprise you with how well they know you, whether it's a sister or a brother or a family member or a friend or even a twin flame. Like somebody might know you better than you think they do. But that actually shouldn't be that surprising. Your twin flame does know you very well because it's the other half of your soul. You know what I mean? Like even if you haven't seen this person for like 10 years or something, like you're sharing energy. Like that might seem really deep, but that is the fucking truth of it. Right, so anyway, let's get back to reading this. This card reminds you how to reverse this, and wait a minute. Eventually, we become cut off from any prospect of evolution or returning source is denied. This card reminds you how to reverse this and to attain the light body. Unlock the body's subtle energy centers by I did read that. Harmonizing and balancing the chakras and clearing the inner channels. This is like rewiring the body's electrical systems. There are several ways to do this. So I was just kind of pointing out, because I've been guided to do that since a young age, I am an extremely clear channel. And also clear means clear. Like what I'm saying is I was born to do this, but it also helped that. But I would say it's because I just knew. My old soul came in knowing what I came here to do, which is why it makes sense, doesn't it, that I've been single for over 23 years. I didn't want to have a boyfriend because clearly I've done boyfriends and husbands in the past lives and I've thought, nah, fuck this. oh, I'm a Christian and I recently have a lot of negativity towards you, so I'm really listening to everything you're saying. Do you know what? Do you know, I'm honoured that if you're a Christian and you're open to watching stuff like this, because I know that can sometimes be, well, you know what I mean? It's basically, that's the way that I see it, right? Is I wasn't brought up religious or Christian or anything like that. So it's very strange to my family that I say God all the time, which I have done for years now. But people that have followed me for 11 years know that I used to say spirit because I'm a medium and a shaman and a channel and everything. And then it was just really interesting. I just naturally transitioned to saying God. But that was some time ago now. Like, I don't even know when I started doing that. But it was years ago. I really don't know if it was 4 or 5 years ago. It feels like it was maybe 4 or 5 years ago, 6 years ago. Maybe it was, but it feels like it's been forever. And it's just that, yeah, I very rarely say spirit, it's God. Oh, look, just as we're saying that, this is what I mean. So I'm assuming the person that's saying Jesus loves you, which Jesus loves all of us, is probably about to start giving abuse. So Lexi's been on the ball with that. And that's what I'm saying. That's usually what you get, which is a shame because anybody that knows me knows that I think it was around that time, wasn't it, Lexi? It was like I said, it was just an activation that I had. And I spoke about all of this last night on the 8-hour live stream. I now feel that was like, that's why I feel so strongly about the Kingdom Spouse journey and Twin Flames. Like, to me, they're both the same thing because I pray every day for my union and everyone else's unions, and I go through such extreme spiritual warfare. But it might be why some of you that are on the Twin Flame journey that is brutal in itself might not resonate as hard when I talk about it in such an extreme way, because you might not go through that much shit, you know what I mean? But those of us that do resonate with how much I go to, you totally get it. But also you would have more than likely had like visions, or like if the person's been in your life, you knew from the get-go, either right from when you met them, that's who I'm meant to be with, like in a serious way, or, you know, it would have clicked at some point. Because like I've explained, you know, my experience of it, but when I had the moment where I was like, whoa, like knew exactly who he was to me, there's no going back. Like, I was fucked. But it's like that nice song, you know, that song I sang last night that's like, I can shake you off, dear, something that I've tried to do, but I can shake you off, dear. Because it's like, you know, oh, actually, that's about sitting on trains. Sit on trains and think of you. But it's like, I know that I'm fucked because I've known love like us. But that's actually relevant with that story in New York too, because when I went there with my sister, I was completely and utterly what's happened there? Yeah, I was completely and utterly heartbroken and extremely activated on this journey. And we'd went very weird with each other. It's not good times when I think back to it, basically. Like, you know what I mean? So let's not reminisce about that. Right, so if I'll eventually finish reading this. But you see what I mean about, I think they're just showing you how deep in the feels I am today with that on my Lilith. So I thought it was more going to make me quite sassy, but it's actually, you know, when the sun is conjunct your natal Lilith as well, it can make you access like deeper parts of your shadow or repressed feelings and stuff. So that's what you got to deal with, guys, if you're listening to me today or later on tonight. So look after your physical body. But isn't it interesting that it's like rewiring the body's electrical system? Like you would have to rewire an electrical system, literally. Look after your physical body. And the electric card came out, yes, there's a lot about electricity. This cannot be stressed enough. Your physical body is the anchor of your light body to the human world, your light body to the human world. But it's often like, you know, that one twin is like very spiritual and psychic and floating off into the never ethers land, you know, with the angels, and another twin is very grounded in the physical. It's created that way for a reason, and it's why the both of you can struggle when you're not together, because both things matter. The physical world matters, but the spiritual matters just as equally. And actually, I've just realised that's what that card's about. Look how one dolphin's like more prominent. That's like the masculine and the physical. And the other one's like, hey, I'm your twin flame. I'm like I'm almost like a fantasy. I'm like this spiritual psychic being. It's quite funny. Yeah, how this looks will be different for each individual. Essentially, it means getting the appropriate amounts of quality rest, each according to your physiological needs. Don't buy into the fad diets or one-size-fits-all approaches, and eat reasonable amounts at proper times. Oh, that's interesting, though, because to give another spin on it, I was sharing last night that I saw a shorts that really resonated with me, where it was a woman basically saying that the whole reason why we're programmed to eat 3 meals a day was to make us fat and lazy. It comes from that evil family. I don't even like saying their name, but they begin with, it starts with ROTH and ends with that word. If you know, you know. They run most of what happens in the world, including the money system. Anyway, that's going right into the rabbit hole, but some people will get it, some people won't. But the point is, it made a lot of sense to me because I don't need a lot of food. Like, I mean, clearly, because I do big, massive week fasts, and I fast and pray all the time and stuff. So, but it made a lot of sense to me. Like, it was to, it's kind of to slow us down. So again, just tune into that. Like, maybe just intuitively, like, if you're forcing yourself to have like breakfast, lunch, and tea, and maybe even supper and so, do you need all of that? Maybe you don't. And then on top of that, think about how many fucking snacks in that people have too. Like, I basically, on a normal day when I'm not fasting, right, I only need my breakfast, which sometimes I can have early, and sometimes it might be like more like a brunch if I've, like on a day like today, like if I've sat up really late and then I have to get up. Because I like to get up before the daylight goes, because otherwise your system is just totally fucked, right? But you know what I mean? I only really need like my breakfast, brunch, and then I need my tea, and that's it. Like, I don't need any more food than that. And actually, sometimes I don't even need the snacks, like, you know what I mean? But in other weeks, I might want a bit of chocolate or something in between, but that's how I am anyway. But, so yeah, tune in. I've never really been a like free sort of like, breakfast, lunch, and dinner sort of person. I call my dinner my tea, by the way. That might confuse people but I did just call it dinner there. Right. So, this also includes minimizing toxic inputs, also mitigating, how do I say that? Mitigating their effects. Mitigating. Mitigate. Oh God, I don't know how to fucking say that, guys. Find a holistic doctor or a health practitioner or a shaman. I just added in shaman that understands your specific needs and follow their guidance, which is why, like I always say, like, look, you got to be sensible about fasting. If you're going to fast for a week, like what I've done, like in the past, and what I'm going to do again, build up to that. I don't think it's wise to just fast for a week if you've never even fasted for 24 hours or intermittent, build up to it. But definitely I would, start somewhere, especially if you've got several different health issues, because like I've said, I get extreme period pain, right, to the point of totally debilitating. Like, it literally happened a few days ago. And when I fast, it takes it away completely. I'm talking, I go from agony to haven't even got the slightest feeling in it. So, you know what I mean? But a doctor's not going to tell you that. So definitely try it if you experience things like that. Yeah. So lighten your soul, laugh more, listen to music you love, and surround yourself with what helps you feel most at ease. Surround yourself with people who feel light and share in good times together. Whatever experience fills your heart and bliss helps expand your light. Spend time in nature, whether it's forests, the beach, mountains, lakes, clean air, and sunlight that have been shown in studies to have tremendous benefits for physical and mental health. It also connects you spiritually to the universe via other life forms that experience three-dimensional existence. Live everyday life with truth and integrity. Be authentic, be yourself. This might take time to peel away the layers of conditioned behaviours. Notice I've spoke about these things before I've got to the page, which again is another example of Sun conjunct Lilith, because it's like I haven't read, like, you know what I mean? It's like I'm just talking about the things before we get. I'll do it all the time though. So conditioned behaviours and beliefs, the journey to uncover our true nature is a journey of becoming our divine higher selves. Oh, wow. And then look, activating the higher self. Chakra cleansing and clearing channels allows physical three-dimensional energy to be integrated, interconnected through various light body levels. The main chakras are conduits to the layers of the light body. Nutrition, exercise, human experience are transmuted, refined in the physical body into light energy channeled into the light body's layers. When you do this, you feel a sense of peace and well-being, increased awareness, increased intuition, heightened creative senses, and increase in all synchronicities, which is why you'll hear me say quite a lot to the new people in particular. If you've started to, if the synchronicity wasn't hitting you before and you're seeing all the signs and synchronicity and serendipity and it's just like an everyday experience, if that happened to heighten after coming across this channel, that's been a thing that's been happening for the whole 11 years that I've been in public, because that is my 24/7 experience. Like, it hits me all day, everywhere, whether it's something to do with me and my twin flame, like me seeing his birthday numbers or names or any reminders of him. It's everywhere, just for me all the time. And it's been like that for 16 years now. So, is that living in hell or is that living in heaven? It's a bit of both each day, guys, especially if you're trying to move on and forget. It can't happen. So if you've only been going through that a couple of years or something, well, you know what I mean? Like, try longer than that. But it's shit either way. Even if it's only been like 6 months, it's can drive you demented, but it's magical too. A dolphin's energy is continuously light, brilliant, open, but it's not just about the twin flame journey. Like, I'm like that about life. Like, God talks to me all the time. Like, for instance, like, I don't want to go too deep into that, but at some point I will when it's appropriate, because that person is so psychic themselves. And psychic doesn't even feel like a big enough word. That person's so in tune themselves. They'll know. And that's what kind of upset me that, it was only yesterday, like that. I was like, when it's the right time and I tell that person, they're not even going to be surprised. The synchronicities of the programs that I was catching and what was happening in the programs was connected to losing a family member. It's just insane. But, sometimes that's where I'm like, that's where it's a bit shit. It's like, right, I don't need to be getting told that already. No, you know what I mean? But it's just part of who I am. It is how they, and that's why I say, like, I can't tell you what it's like to only be a medium or only be a shaman or only be a divine channel. I'm literally all of this stuff, and it's very overwhelming at times. You know what I mean? So, sorry, I'm going to read what you're saying in a minute, Louise. I just want to finish reading this card because I keep interrupting it, but it's all meant to be coming through. When you do this, you feel a sense of peace, well-being, increase. I read that bit, didn't I? A dolphin's energy is continuously light, brilliant, open, and sentient. Being in their presence, either meditatively or physically, supports you in opening to a superior vibrational frequency. And that's why, I've heard people talking about when they've swam with dolphins, it was a very spiritual experience. There's a place in Hawaii, I think they might have, I don't know if they might have stopped that now, which is a shame. But there is a place, I think it's Hawaii, don't quote me on that. I'm sure it's Hawaii though. There is a place where people actually went to give birth with the dolphins, because they're very, I think they become very protective and like surround the the person giving birth and stuff. But it's something like that. It's quite nice, but each to their own. I love dolphins and all that, but I think that's, I just, at one point I wanted to swim with the dolphins, but I wouldn't thank someone for, I don't want to be doing that. Do you know what I mean? I'd just be continuously thinking about what else was in, the sea terrifies me. It's quite funny that I walk by the sea, generally speaking, every day, because I've got a lot of respect for water. The sea terrifies me. And then it's weird that when I was 15, I swam in this is where my geography fails me. I don't know what sea it was, but I was in Oman, which that's not something where a lot of people would be in their lifetime. But I was in the desert, and they'd never seen a white person, let alone someone as white as me. So they thought I was an angel. Oh, they're not wrong with that. I am an earth angel. But someone offered to buy me. So that was interesting too. I was holding my dad's hand at 15 because I was like, I'm terrified. Like, and actually think about, I'm not going to make jokes there, because think about shit going on in the world. Like, that is a real thing. Like, some people's families do sell them to, you know what I mean? So obviously that's kind of, that actually puts a different spin on it, doesn't it? Like, because the guy wasn't joking. He was like, asking my dad if he could buy me. My dad's like, no, you know what I mean? But like, yeah, that was kind of nuts. And they also thought my three little ginger cousins were angels too, because I think you might know that actually. Is there something in the Bible about, or oh no, it wouldn't be the Bible, it would be whatever religion. But I mean, it must be like, I think people with red hair are like quite angelic. But I mean, you couldn't get further from the truth with how mischievous my three wee cousins at that age were. They've grown into very respectable men now, but I think at that age they were like little shits, basically. I remember they used to like stick their fingers up at people when we were in the car and stuff. Like, yeah, they were quite mischievous. Right, so, but yeah, basically I swam with all the tropical fish and everything. That is just, and that's like a different person to me. Like it's like I also, my God, I need to, by the way, the battery's going to die. I've been talking that long. But I also, when I worked in the Royal Mail in a kilt shop, also at 15, I would sit like in the cellar, like on AOL, you know, waiting for it to dial up, because those of you that are similar ages will know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I would sit in the chat rooms and that, played in the, whatever I was played, I used to get paid to like pull the threads out of I think it's called plaiding or something. There's no fucking way I would do that now. You know, and bear in mind, I've been doing this professionally as a medium and everything for years and a shaman. But I'm so more, there's no way I would do that. But at that age, I was so connected in a different way and almost a bit naive that I could feel all the spirit energy around me, but I wasn't bothered. Now I'd be shitting myself. Seriously, I really would, because it's like, if you've ever been in the Royal Mail and you're susceptible to energy and picking up energies, it has got that vibe around it, like, you know, but being like in a close in the cellar in that street, no. It's one of the most haunted cities in Europe, if not the most haunted. So pretty brave though, you know what I mean? I'm clearly an Aries. But I wouldn't do it now. So yes, being in their presence, either meditatively or physically, supports you in opening to a superior vibrational frequency. Their light body is exceedingly advanced. And look how I'm talking. It's like it's not just me. Lots of you will connect with this too. But so maybe if you like dolphins too, you might resonate as being like a very old soul and in your last life or something, or just basically being extremely connected to, you know, God and whatever you call it, spirit and stuff. The dolphins wish to assist in initiating and cultivating your light body to further you along the path towards ascension. Attending to the needs of the light body not only helps you in the world, but will lighten you in preparation for connecting to source. The gifts that come with this are to benefit you and the world. Oh my God, we finally reached the end, but I'm loving these cards, because basically the point is, right, I'm not expecting anybody to understand all of that, because that was quite full on, right? But here's a good example. When I have over the years reached out to other healers or channelers or psychics, mediums and stuff, I always hit a bit of a wall, because I realize, oh my God, like I'm an older soul than this person, like regardless of what age they are, right? And I remember once being on a Zoom with someone that I was just getting a reading from them, but that's what I like about when I come across people that are as honest as me or in integrity, because that person was just honest enough to be like, your frequency is out of this world. Like, you know, like she even said to me, like that's, again, I'm keeping this anonymous, but that's somebody that talks to a lot of twin flames and stuff. And she was like, you are definitely, never mind like that. That's why, notice I don't talk about the fifth dimension a lot, because what I connect with is like like the 12th dimension. You know, it's like it's very, very high frequency, which it actually puts a lot of people, you know what I mean? A lot of people, not everyone can handle my energy, and that's okay, you know, but if you can, then you obviously can handle it for a reason, because people won't be able to understand what I'm going on about, or they'll think it's like crazy. But again, like I keep saying, with a lot of the stuff that's coming to light about the evil in the world that I have been shedding light on for years, along with the other soul family that have been doing that, it's not seeming so crazy now, is it? I mean, it's unfortunate that it's true. I wish it was a lie, but it's not. But because I'm an advanced soul, I'm not going to be like, no, 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 I told you so, fuck you. It's like, no, I'm going to have boundaries with people in my personal life that basically shunned me or moved away from me and left me all by myself, because that's just self-love, guys. Why the hell would I want people around me that left me crying on my own, you know, at a scary time in the world? Like, no thanks. Like, not to mention all the other shit. But when it comes to people as a whole, because even actually that's quite deep, but I've said that before, I don't mind if people tune in that have known me in another context that don't know me like that now, because I'm here to help people, you know. But it's just a bit of a shame that something would shift from like a personal connection to a professional one, you know what I mean? But I don't think I could, I don't even know if, I don't even think I could work with people, you know, if that would just be weird, wouldn't it? But what card? It's that deck is the Whispers of the Dolphin Heart. So it apparently came out a couple of years ago. So it is beautiful, isn't it? I felt really, and it was so funny because when I saw that, I put it in the basket. I was like, right, there's so many cards I'm always drawn to, and just like my friend had done recently, where I had been given a message, and it just triggered something that I was like, right, I need that Ancient Stone deck. And then 100%, if you've seen how excited, I actually meant to bring that through here and I forgot, but I'm fucking loving that deck, so connected to it. And then it makes sense with my transit, you know, like I'm saying, with that conjunct my Black Moon Lilith, which is one of the reasons why I am this psychic. But this deck, every fucking video I watched, someone were pulling, no, they weren't pulling a card about a dolphin. Somebody just randomly started talking about dolphins. And then I saw dolphin, you know, I mean, that's how it happens. Like, oh, I just looked at all the ones in a row there, alignment, energy, new beginnings. And then they're pulling my eyes to free. That reminds me of Jesus. Okay, I think we can crack on now. I've read that, right? Because I just wanted to read that from last night. Hopefully, let me just see how much battery I've got. I have got a charger for this that 18%. We might be all right with that. Oh shit, that alarm's going to go off. Wait a minute. It's all going on. Right, am I back? Yeah, I went away for a minute there. Right, okay, so welcome, Kimberly. I don't think I said hi to you there. So I'm just going to catch up on these comments because and yes, I will eventually, if anyone has donated or that, I will use my other phone. That's what I'll do. If I'm wanting to carry on, I'll just pick up my other phone. So that's funny that you've been trying to do everything that I've said. Do you mean like clearing your chakras and stuff? Because again, if you want more like one-to-one support with that, I can teach you about stuff like that in a session as well. But there's loads of free content on the channel if you want to sort of look at the playlists and stuff that can help. But Wild, you said sister. Oh, what was that bit to? Is that some kind of, I'm assuming that's some kind of synchronicity. Yeah, but like I said, Louise, I love that you're open to that, because I feel there's a whole wave of people that are very Christian that are moving away from realizing that this stuff isn't evil. It's all about intention. Like, I don't know about you, but like, obviously, hopefully when people come, they can tell that, like, look, I talk about God. I use the scripture cards. I'd actually mentioned yesterday as well that I'd been swaying for, it feels like forever, on the biblical tarot, because I feel like that is a next level of kind of, I could see how that would be offensive. You know, it does seem a bit wrong mixing biblical and tarot, but actually it's not. It's just, it's all about your intention. Like, these are just bits of card. Like, I get really passionate about that, because it's like, I mean, because it almost comes across a bit cult-like, you know what I mean? If people are like, you know, it's like, no, it's like anything. There's good doctors and there's bad doctors. There's good counselors and there's bad counselors. There's also people in the Christian world that like think about it, like this is a fucking really extreme example, right? But have you ever watched the Louis Theroux documentaries? Because I caught one the other night that was, I fucking love. I remember I loved that when I was younger, but I love it because they're like 10 years old and 20 years old now and stuff. And I don't know about 20 years old, but it's definitely, no, I think one was 20 years old. But it was a different spin on it. It was apparently the most the hated family in America or something. And they're extremely Christian, but next level, like, they make a point of like going to like outside. I think it was like, I don't know if it was specifically against gay people, or I think it was. I'm sure it was more than that though. But anyway, it was definitely specifically against gay people, and like basically, but it was calling them like evil, and you're going to hit. And it was, I know that that can be a thing, but like this was like on one of this, like the guy was like, I feel sorry for you, I'm praying for you, you're going to hell. And it was just like, is that kind? Is that loving? I don't think God would be, you know what I mean? Like God can, you know, come down hard on people with karma and all that, but that's not the God I can do. And that's what I'm saying, like that's what I don't agree with. Like, you know, so like when people come on like being nasty and that, being like, you know, oh, you shouldn't be doing it, it's not, because yeah, anyway, it all gets a bit fucking lost in the sauce, doesn't it? But I just think there is a whole wave of new awakening of people that you can be connected to God in your own way, and it's got nothing to do with needing to go to a physical church. Like, you know, look at how many churches are corrupt and there's dodgy shit going on, and priests fucking, you know, being, you know, not up to good stuff with kids and all that. Your church is in your heart, you know, your church is wherever you want it to be. You carry it with you, and you can connect to God in however you want to, if you're, you know, if you're open to it. Yeah, not allowed by my church yet. I'd imagine it wouldn't be. But I believe it all comes from, yes, good. I love that. So I'm like that too. After one, I'll have some light. I'm going through a lot of health issues and I have to fast for 3 days before I go to surgery. So I was meant to stop in your live. You know, oh, wow, that's amazing. Oh, well, yeah, like I said, just, you know, tune in when you're guided to, because if you're finding that the doctor in the hospital and stuff isn't helping you, it might be like exactly like that card, that, you know, it's an energetic thing. Oh, by the way, the time was 4:18 as I was talking there. That's the union number. That is my birthday. That's why I am here to help the unions. And definitely, like I said, the higher level unions, the kingdom spouse twin flames, you know, and but twin flames as well. But it's so. And I just like to stress that, because like I said, sometimes people can describe kingdom spouse as something that you've chose because your twin flame wasn't getting their shit together. That's completely tits up. But I mean, there's the twin flames is such a hot topic now that people are saying all sorts. Like I said, and it's a shame, because that, you know, again, I always keep it anonymous, keep it classy, but like there's someone that I'd found not too long ago, and I really love, like very gifted at giving the message, but the wild sort of explanation about twin flames and like, I don't know, she was bringing up all these, and I'm like, what the fuck is she talking about? So I just kind of respect that that's what that person believes, and I'm like, that's totally not the truth, and it's not my truth. And that's what the sermon's all about. So like, if people don't resonate with the way that I describe it, that's fine. Go and find, I'm not saying it in a horrible way, but, you know, go and find somebody else that describes it the way that resonates. But, you know, I certainly don't resonate with a lot of people that talk about twin flames, because I've saw them claim that they're with their twin flame. I've even saw some people show the person that is apparently that, and then had it all be proven that no, that wasn't their twin flame. So they don't know as much as what they were making out of it. And again, like, you know, be humble. Everyone can make mistakes, but that never computes with me, because as a divine feminine, that there's absolutely no fucking doubt in my mind who my twin flame is. And like I said, twin flame doesn't feel a strong enough word anymore. Like, it really, you know what I mean? I am resonating more with Kingdom Spice. It's like I always have done. Like, it's that's so interesting. They just pulled me up to the Vow DVD when I said that. Isn't that interesting that I'm talking about that, and that they've shot my eyes at? And the reason I've got that there, it's been, I wonder if I could show you it. Yeah, there's no reason why I couldn't actually. Look, that DVD, I'm feeling a bit, this is a bit vulnerable showing my, but look, I've had that there because I love the, you know, I love the way they're looking at each other. It is one of my favourite films, but everything's my favourite. Oh, look at the t-shirt that's hanging up too. Something amazing is about to happen. I've done that on purpose because it's quite, and there's a jumper I might be wearing later. It's like good to look at that every day. Something amazing is about to happen. I might actually wear it. I don't really suit the t-shirt, but yeah, I have that there, and it's been there for years. it's been there for at least 3.5 years, but I think that's been sitting there like that for like 4 years or something. I just leave it. I take things off and dust it and tidy and all that. That place is normally a lot. And by the way, I've got that over my TV because screens are portals. So like I always cover the TV with something. But what's quite funny is that scarf's got a lot of bad memories, but I can't seem to part of it. It's like there's a whole story behind that, but I will need to chuck that. I do really like it though. But yeah, and then if you can read that, it says happy is what happens when all your dreams come true. But yeah, that just it's almost a bit of a vision board. I'm like, when I'm in a connection with a person I met, I want it to be like that. You know what I mean? I want but anyway, I don't want to be exactly like the story of the vow but it is. It's like awakening because she completely forgets who he is. And then she's like, doesn't even remember who she is, but she comes back because she's like, obviously their souls were pulled to each other. Because she loses her memory if you've not seen it. But and then at the end of it, it's everyone knows this, but they're getting me to say it for a reason. She is like the divine masculine. She's like, thank you for she says thank you, and he says I've never done anything. Because he actually has to give her a divorce in the end because she's just so different. She's not remembering how in love they were. Because he just and he says he says I didn't do anything, and she says you done everything. You accepted me for who I was and not who you wanted me to be. And he's like, I just wanted you to be happy. It's quite emotional, guys. Maybe I need to watch that. I can't always watch it because it's quite triggering. You know what I mean? It's like, fuck's sake, that's what I should be in. But anyway, this resonates so much. I have always felt so connected to dolphins ever since I was little. Oh, I love that. And I love that you've got 444 in your name because that is my favourite triple digit. Have I read all these comments? Is the face on the lighter dolphin in the corner at the bottom? It's like it's looking up at the... Oh, look, that feels significant. It's the picture on the back of the book. Ooh. It is like it is looking up. Yeah, it's like it's... I don't know. It's very majestic, that picture. Right, so... Yes, just aligns with what's going on in my world. Oh, that sounds interesting, Lexi. I look forward to hearing what that's about. Claire is a lovely teacher. Been here for 6 years. Oh, thank you. I think it's 7 years now this year, Lexi. A karmic cycle. We've made it. If you make it 7 years of a connection, you know what I mean? It doesn't mean like that's like it's forever, but it's quite a good sign, So I'm really proud of that because... And it doesn't mean anyone else has done anything wrong if you only sort of connected with me for a couple or worked with me for a few years and then you've went off somewhere else. To be honest, that's the shitty part about my job. I help people soar and fly and they fly away and sometimes they don't come back. And it's quite sad because I can get quite attached to people, but that's part of being a teacher. You have to let people... And like you said, a lot of people flying a lot higher than me. It's not about numbers and social media and stuff, but that is a thing. But again, that's ego anyway. Do you know what I mean? The numbers mean nothing. Because I've found people talking about twin flames that have literally just awakened, in the last couple of years, and they might have. I've supported people silently that I've found that I spoke about this last night. I've found them at under 1,000, and then sometimes I'm the person that likes it, and then they soar, but. Still, I know it's I'll listen to things for a while, but it's I've got more experience in them, so it doesn't mean this person's better at this topic. No, just even I'm talking about anonymously, but someone I was thinking about there has been talking about it for years, but that was one of the people that made a mistake about who their twin flame is. You know what I mean? I don't know how you could do that because it means that there was a disconnect with that person to themselves to even try to be in denial to convince themselves that was their twin flame with how connected you are. But I think it's because a lot of the women talking about it like they're the feminine, they're actually the masculine. That's my theory, but that might be yet to be proven. They're the reason why people say there's no hate like Christian love. Oh dear. Exactly. Intentions are everything. I can pick up on people's energies. I don't like it that I can't help it. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yes, it's not till the 18th, but I have to say you're very grounded and so real to who you are. Thank you very much. Is that a film? If so, can you tell? Oh my God, was that what I was just talking about? Yeah, that's The Vow. If you mean that one, have you never seen The Vow? Oh my God, The Vow is honestly so romantic. It is like, it's a very, actually, The Vow is a brilliant film to watch today. Venus, planet of love, in Pisces, the most romantic sign at the later degrees. That is a film to watch. I might watch that tonight. I might watch that tonight, actually, if I don't get off the live streams really late. Or like The Notebook would be a great film to watch as well. We all love The Notebook. It wasn't over, still isn't over. And actually, in these films, there's a huge theme. This is like when I was talking about Dear John the other day too. In these films, there's a theme of being apart for 6 years, 7 years, 2 years, 3 years. Doesn't matter. Love is love. It transcends the time and the boundaries. And, it's like twin flames have been connected for past lives. It is a deep love. That it doesn't matter if people move on and marry others and have family. It's like nothing is ever going to match that love, which is why I'm saying it triggers me. I can handle the trigger and I'll deal with it. I wouldn't be horrible about it, but I'm like, I have to admit I did stop watching because there's too many people. I've lost count now. We're going into two hands. We're going into double figures of how many people over the past 10 years I have watched claim they're with their twin flame. And I'm like, nah, they're not. And then if I actually see them, I'm like, that's not their twin flame. And then it's like, there was one time I've mentioned this every now and again, but maybe it's because we're talking about lying here with this energy too. I really don't agree with what that person done. They were trying to claim this guy was their twin flame, and everyone was like, this seems a bit weird. And then some people were totally fooled by it. And I wasn't. I was like, she's got an entity. I could see it. And he had a really weird energy. He seemed like a bit of a narcissist. And then, right enough, she then came out later and was like, oh, I knew that wasn't him. I was just, I don't know if she said she was testing people. It was really fucked up that I thought, right, time to stop watching you. It's like, that's what I mean. When I reflect on it, over the years, I've been led to watch people as research. I wasn't meaning to do that, but you know what I mean? It's like, so nowadays I only watch people that I know are in the same frequency, that are going through the hell that I'm going through, that are here to help people and not fuck with people's minds. And it's not that some of the people that have made a mistake weren't meaning to fuck with people's minds, but I've never, ever to this day seen anyone be accountable for, sorry guys, I fucked up, I made a mistake. It's like they come up with this big crazy story that they knew all along. It's like, no, you didn't. Like, you know what I mean? Because why were you saying that? It would be like me saying that, it's this guy and it's the 21/11, and it's like, this is somebody that's birthday is, the 5th of March or something. They'd be like, well, hang on a minute, who's the other guy? Do you know what I mean? It's like, no, I'm going to have to own it. Do you know what I mean? If I fucked up, there's no fucking going back, is there? But maybe that's because I'm like, I know what the deal is. Right, anyway, so quite deep, but right, okay, so shall we, let's do these cards. I'm going to have to put this down a minute, right? So you're going to hear me shuffling. Every day I'm shuffling. So I'm shuffling these toxic relationship cards. But as I've explained, and hello, Christine, they're not as bad as what they sound, but I can't actually be sure of that because I haven't looked at them all. I just literally saw that. I saw one card about control. And so constant negativity is what was leapt out when I was shuffling. So let's see, I haven't read the bottom. Let's read it together. Do you like my new? I'm fucking loving this. Because my branding colours are like, not that I do much about that. I made that, do you know that I made my background? I made my background up. That Crystal Clear Visions, Modern Mystic and all of that. I made that up like 10 years ago or something. 10, 11 years, whenever it was. It was maybe it wasn't as long as that. Maybe it was 9 years, but it was a long time ago. And I haven't changed it since because I love the colours. And I just done it in about 2 minutes on, I don't even know if it was Canva. But it's like I'm very fussy and I love the colours of it. And I think if I was going to do like a proper posh read, I would need to find somebody that could do the exact same thing. But yeah, my colours are like electric blue, gold, and this purpley, like Cadbury's kind of colour. So when I saw this, I was like, oh my God, I love that. Right, okay, so There's the card. Constant negativity. Surround yourself with positivity and seek relationships that uplift and inspire you. Wow, that is so like that. That's like what that card was talking about. Like, so basically that's quite interesting because, you know, I was assuming it's meant to be like, yeah, I think it is meant to be about love, right? And it will be too. But that can actually extend to like friends and family. If you're around people that are just constantly like negative or not got anything nice to say about people, and look, my shadow's having a wee chat today, my healed shadow, because, you know, it could be perceived that I'm not being very nice saying this about some of these people that have misled people, but they have misled people. Do you know what I mean? I'm just telling the truth. Like it's not. Some people have lied with some of the people I spoke about, but some people haven't lied. They have thought that that was the truth, and then they've made a mistake, but then they've not taken accountability for it. And then I've even seen, again, I'm talking about several different people anonymously when I'm saying this, but it's like I've saw people shame people as well, like for questioning exactly. I've saw people comment, this was years ago, but it's normally during a Mercury or a Venus retrograde, which, by the way, we're in Mercury retrograde now, which is probably why I'm talking about it, because it's the past, because it's in Pisces, which is the past too. But Venus retrograde will bring out all of this too. So I bet you, I think when I start to bring up stuff like that, it's because it's going to happen again. Like there's going to be somebody else that was claiming they were in a twin flame union and it wasn't. I think that's what all the lies are being exposed. And then the true twin flame power couples are going to rise and you're going to see what it really is. But I've saw people shame their own like subscribers for saying things like, wait a minute, but you have been saying this and you've been teaching us this, and surely there's a bit of a disconnect if you were so disconnected. Like, I mean, that's what I would say, but it was, you know, it'd be things like, you know, if you must be quite disconnected from yourself if you were like, because that's pretty bullshit to be claiming that in public and showing the person, and then, you know what I mean? Like, there's almost a bit of arrogance about that, isn't it? Like, you've got to be quite confident about it or prepared for the fall if you've got it wrong. That's my input on it, but you can have your own opinions on it. But anyway, let's not go too into it. But it is important. This stuff is important because false idols and false teachers are getting exposed. Like, it's in all fields, like whether it's fucking astrology or like twin flames or gurus, spirituality, you know what I mean? It's all of this is being exposed. Like, there's some people that, you know, you might follow on this platform that you think the sun shines out their ass. And maybe when you get on a Zoom with them, they're not the nicest of people. What you see in public is not what they are put across in public. And that's why I always say, I am very proud of myself that how you experience me on a private Zoom or a group Zoom or my membership is not too dissimilar from what you'll see me be like in public. Now, that's quite rare because I'm very raw and real, and I pride myself in being that. But that's what I would hate that if somebody felt that I was really, the only way I'm different, I mean, I don't know, Lexi's had enough sessions, she could tell you, but the only way I'm different from on here now, whether it's my hands or when I'm on camera, is it's more deep. Like, it is more intense on an individual session because it'll be less of the kind of jokey, playful Claire, and I have to go into being very assertive and, you know, helping people with the deep stuff. But that's really the only difference, you know what I mean? It's whereas I've had experiences in all different fields over the years where it is not the case. You know what I mean? I've had people that could seem very polite and lovely in public and people pleasing, and then are actually quite rude and disturbing. Like, I remember, like, this was years ago, I think 2019, I had a session with like a twin flame, and they were like so narcissistic, it was a bit insane. And then it was like the person could tell that I knew my shit, and then they were triggered even more, and I was like, right, this was a mistake. And then I had another one that I went on that yeah, she like ghosted me. Like, I was like, that person actually wanted me to like be a part of their platform and all that, and then they ghosted me. It's just fight, isn't it? It's like, so just not everybody's got their shit together like they make out. Right, we've got 5%. I might need to switch phones. In fact, wait a minute, where's that thing? Get yourself one of these, by the way. These chargers are amazing. What I'll do is I'll turn the mic off, and then I'll put the charger in. I think it'll let me carry on. Wait a minute, let's read these comments. Wow, sun's really on my black moon. Lilith, isn't it? Lilith's going for it. But it's the truth. If people are triggered by the truth, fine, but that is the truth. I wouldn't be in my Lilith every day, because that's a bit much, because it's, you've got to balance the light and the dark. But it's like this is saying, I wouldn't want to be around constant negativity or moaning, right? But when it's the truth, it needs to be brought to the light in a classy way. Because notice, I'm not fucking like calling anyone out or that, but that's what I mean. I don't like people not owning it. Because we all fuck up, and that's why I don't like when people bash Aries, because Aries gets a bad name for not being able to apologise. I'm sorry, but see, when I'm wrong, I apologise, but I'm going to be like my granddad. I'm not often wrong, but I'm right again. But no, when I'm wrong, I say sorry, because I wouldn't like somebody to not do that to me. But I've got a lot of like Pisces placements, so maybe that's why I'm forgiving and loving that. Wow, we have a beautiful group this morning after get. Yes, we do, Lexi. It's very kumbaya, my lord. It's very loving, isn't it? We are always very loving, but it's nice. It's always nice when we get newbies as well. So my family and friends are so negative, and I have been trying to tell them about the effects of the energy they're sending out. Louise, do you really resonate with Kingdom Spouse? I'm just thinking, with you coming from a Christian background, you might really get what I'm saying with that. Took me a long time to apologise, but you learn your lesson where apologies are important. Yeah, Lexi, I'm so proud of you as well, because Lexi's, a lot younger than me. And so because, she's been on my radar that long, like I've saw you grow in that way that is just absolutely amazing. And again, being a double Aries, like, I'll joke that being a double Aries with a Venus, that isn't easy, because, your moon is your feelings. And Aries moon is particularly, it can be very angry, because your moon is your feelings and your emotions, and Aries is anger. And then Aries sun is, you know what I mean? So to be able to be having that much Aries and, be able to do that is a good thing. So, right, okay. Yeah, because, when you're talking about the Christian thing, we've got another soul fan member that is a Christian, but she's also got like very kind of shamanic energy about her. I think it's in her ancestry. And so when she found me, she literally assumed that I had been brought up Christian and that knew the scriptures and everything because of the way that I talk. And I'm that honest. I'm like, no, I've not got a clue. I have a bit now because I've got, like those wee cards, and other than like I said, I love the Corinthians. Like I've got the love is patient, love is kind, and but obviously, like I've had people that when I've had healings and sessions that like but I'm sure a few people have said to me before, like I wouldn't be surprised if you've like wrote bits of the Bible or I don't know, because it's my past life, but it's like I do seem to just really connect with it and tap in because I just channel this stuff. But like I said, my closest guides are Mary Magdalene and Jesus. Like I resonate with that so strongly. And if you feel energy, people do feel that from me. But yeah, no, I wasn't brought up. Like I said, my family find it pretty weird. I said this once, and again, I don't mean to be offensive, but it is kind of funny too. I caught my dad was like burning paper and stuff and wood in the fire, and he was literally about to throw this little book that I don't know how it was kicking about at a charity shop or something, but it was like a little book of like prayers, and I was like, and I looked and I was like, oh my God, I'm loving this. And I was like, what the hell are you doing? And I was like, Dad, I'm pretty sure there's some kind of bad karma for that. Like, give me that. And it's a wee book. I'll find it somewhere. And it's a book of like little scriptures. And I was like, fucking hell, really? But he wasn't like knowing what he was doing. But I was like, shit. But you know what I mean? It's, do you speak Minigat? What the hell is that? I think that might be a person that we need to hide. Oh yes, Claire will tell you I had my kicking and screaming moments before I released. Yeah, but you see, that's what I mean. That takes a lot of integrity and courage to change like that. And that's what I'm saying. Like those of us that have been through an ego death know that. But if you haven't went through an ego death. You'll be too proud to apologise, even if you know you're wrong. You won't take accountability. And that's why I'm saying that is concerning to me, that there's people talking about, you know, lots of different topics, like the twin flame journey and stuff. That's just an example, but loads of different things. But like, because like I said, I've been on the receiving end of this more times than you'd think. Oh, wait a minute, sorry. I forgot I was going to... Wait a minute. I'm going to plug the little charger. Hopefully it'll let me do it with the charger. Can you hear me? Oh, 1%. Oh, shit. I left it a bit late there, didn't I? Maybe someone's going to leave it to the 11th hour. Hey, I'm here. My light body's activated. And I want to say to you... My head's on fire when I said that. I've been through hell and back. Oh, yeah. You're Scottish. Not many people speak Scottish. Thank you. Where are you from? I am Scottish. I've been through hell and back, but I've been through hell and back, but let's meet up and tell each other how we feel. Yeah, look, see, I was saying it in a jokey way, but I think it is true. I'm telling you, I channeled this last night. This weekend feels very potent because it's a Scorpio moon, which is deep feelings, sacred sexual energy. If you're not in that part, it could be quite painful because Scorpio is also pain, which is quite, you know what I mean? But there's a very interesting energy here. Okay, will it let me? 1%. It still might cut off because that is cutting it fine. Oh, Ayrshire. All right. I'm in Edinburgh. Yahweh is good, and my family also think I'm mad, so I gave up trying to find a way to manage, but I know that it's up to them to be open and let some light in. Yeah, so it's just coming back to that. Like, you know, if people are in that, they're in that. You know, it's only going to change when they want to. So, you know, look out for yourself. It's not selfish. It's like you looking after yourself will become a good example to the people that want to be inspired by it. Like, it's like, see, as a shaman, right? I've got a strict rule. Most of the time, you'll see me do this in public. If I am ever like, if I'm channeling and I'm doing personal cards and the message is coming through like screaming at somebody that they need a session, they must really need a session, because I'm of the opinion, when you're a true shaman, people just feel led to you and they don't even know why. And you got to trust that. You know, that's how it worked in the ancient times. That's how it works now. So, like, like I said, I'm not everyone's cup of tea. As a person, as a healer, like, it's I help people with very dark, you know, dark stuff, their deepest fears, and it's a mixture of people that are here to help others and, you know, cheering people with their soul's calling. So, you know, it's not all like, you know, but it's a mixture of that. So, and just feeling that you're not alone if you're connected to this new frequency, this new earth, because I've been anchoring in these codes for years. Like I said, there's not many people that get that energy. So, oh, you're a Scorpio. Oh, love it. That Scorpio is my favourite sign. I'm Scorpio rising, so usually we've got a lot of Scorpios and Scorpio risings around here. Scorpios are very loyal, but if you fuck over a Scorpio anything, you're probably not going to see them again. Do you know what I mean? Just speaking personally, that's why I speak like that about people that have betrayed me in the past, because it's like, sorry, you showed me who you are. But and like I said, if I wasn't a twin flame and connect with the Kingdom spouse thing so much, as that's funny because the live stream's getting to near that. Wouldn't it be weird if the phone dies at 144? I don't think it will though, because it's now 2%, but it's about to reach 144. But yeah, like, I'm not kidding. Like, for everyone on this journey, if like I was just like a regular not twin flame person and this was love, like, I wouldn't, you know, I think it would be the end of the road for me and my twin flame as well. And it might be anyway, because it's not up to me, is it? But I don't feel it is. But because he is who he is to me, that's why I would never not listen to him. Do you know what I mean? But right, because it's really only something that me and him would understand. You know what I mean? For our unique journey, because like at 144, because everyone's is unique to them. Silent treatment. I'm not.
Fuck, I'm not fucking talking about me and him again, but fuck hell, these are resonating. This is the biggest problem. The other one said, like, what did it say again? Not listening, or I can't remember what it said. It was something about not being open to listen, refusing to listen, and now we've got silent treatment. Fucking hell. Encourage open communication and address issues directly. Silence can be broken with honesty. Well, I'm being very honest, so I think my one needs to adopt a bit of that shit. Right, anyway. Anyway, so yes, but this is relevant to everyone. Because remember what I said about this energy. Pisces sun, very silent, very contemplative. Yes. Anyway, let's get another one of them. What else? What else do people need help with? Wait a minute, actually. People that are dealing with this. Because actually, see what I mean? I do love these because they're not actually toxic at all, are they? They're just fucking reality. This happens. You fall out with a partner, you fall out with a friend, you fall out with a twin flame, whatever you are to each other. You don't talk for years. Family do that. Think about how many family feuds there are and people don't talk to their fucking siblings and that for 10 years. This happens all the time. So, for the people that are struggling with some kind of silent treatment, what's going to help them? That is the only card about relationships. There's one about twin flames in this deck too, but that's interesting. Spend more quality time together. If you're single, a new relationship with you in the horizon, I can't even talk, guys. That makes sense. If you're in a relationship and someone's giving you silent treatment, maybe you've not spent enough quality time together and someone's like, in a huff that you're not connecting, you know what I mean? But if you're in a twin flame dynamic or whatever you resonate with, if someone's silent, they've been taking the time to heal and face their own stuff before they come back. And I'd say you could resonate with some of the people that someone wants to come in and talk. Love it, right? Okay, so let's get another one. You're bang on with that. Trust is everything for a Scorpion. What time are you going live later? As I have to pick up my door. Well, I can't. What, are you kidding me? Oh, of course it is. Well, I was going to be going. I was hoping to be live now. It's like Mercury retrograde. It depends, right? Because when it gets to this point in my chart and I'm doing the live streams, sometimes I often do just think, fuck it, and I'm going to come on in my jammies. They are actually very, I've got to do Libra, and they are very Libra jammies. It's got like candy cane hearts, but this is like the duvet that I ordered, right? That, remember when I told that story? I don't know if everyone was, would have heard it, but I ordered a Christmas duvet, right? And I thought, oh, that'd be cool if it arrives in time for Christmas, right? And it was just because I needed another duvet cover anyway, and it was exactly like that. It was like red with a candy cane, right? And my neighbour chored it. To this day, I'm fucking certain of it. I wouldn't accuse it. The neighbour chored it, right? Fucking raging, but I can't prove it, right? But what was funny about it was I'd said to myself, right, if that arrives, like if that actually arrives in time, that's symbolic of other things that might happen in my life. So it's quite funny, isn't it? Like it was like I knew it was symbolic of somebody stealing something that was yours. Like you should have had it by now. Like that should be mine, but my fucking arsehole choring neighbour's got it. You know what I mean? That's hello, Paul. That is funny timing when I'm saying a story like that. I don't know if that person's being serious. Are we having a wee dram? How's the bairns? Right, you're getting hidden because you're being white. I don't think Lexi would see through the Scottish but being white. It's like that's like the other person that came on was like, "Do you drink red cola and eat haggis pies?" Get the fuck. Quite funny too though, but it's like you know what I mean. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what time to be honest, but I think when I get off of this, right, I think I will make the effort to get dressed because I would quite be happy sit there with yesterday's hairdo and no makeup and my jammies, but I think just getting dressed and putting my makeup on is going to make me feel a bit more awake to get through the signs. Do you know what I'm saying? But I'd imagine I will have got to it by 6:30. I think about 6:30 at the earliest, and it's like 5 to 5 right now. I'll check on your page when I get back. Thanks for listening and answering my question. Oh yeah, do you want me to quickly pull your card before you go? Yeah, I don't think you'd understand it. Green topaz. Are you being genuine or are you a troll? It's seeming a bit trolly. Not all men, but it's always a man to say something dumb. You're going to be getting the popcorn chucked at you, all the men in the crowd. When women can be just as dumb. Oh, what's that coming? Oh, look what I just picked up. Gaslighting. It's getting a bit deeper now, isn't it? Trust your instincts and seek validation from a trusted friend or therapist. So yeah, unfortunately, that's why I wanted these cards. I trust people. I help people with shit like that all the time, where they're being gaslit. You know, someone's making you think someone's one way or projecting when it's actually them. So anyone that's dealing with stuff like that, whether it's a lover or a friend or a family member. Excitement. Look forward to excitement. Well, how does that fit? You see, that could be like about, say you've got a creative talent. Because unfortunately, I've had to help people with that too. Where like, say you're like really psychic or something and like people are like I've spoken about this too. It's like, you know, I've had that in the past. I haven't got it around me now where I would be like, I remember showing people around me like my YouTube channel and being like, oh, look what I've done. Like, I think it was like I made a little musical thing at the start of one of the videos. Like, this was like years ago. And the people I showed, they literally didn't say anything. It was like I hadn't even, it was so weird. It was like there was no reaction. But that is like so blindingly obvious. Like, that is like envy. That is jealousy because you're doing something different. And it's like to make you feel small about yourself. So I'm sure there'll be lots of people in the crowd like right now being like, oh yeah, I know exactly what that's all about. But you see, that can come from anyone, and that is abusive. And it's people not wanting you to shine at what you're good at. And that's why from the day I started this 11 years ago, my tagline's been my gift is helping you find yours. Because you can bet your bottom dollar there aren't going to be many people around you in your life that will help you find it. If you have got people around you that are uplifting you like that, you're very, very lucky. It's quite rare. Like, people like to make people feel like that's no big deal, when actually they could be the people that are your biggest stalkers. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like when I said last night, because unfortunately with my Black Moon at Lilith and my Pluto 0° Scorpio in the 12th house, hidden enemies, because I've got so many placements that are about, I was saying this to one of the guys that I had a session with before I got ill actually, and he was laughing because he knows my experience too. Like, I have got so many astrological placements that are about either people being jealous or people being obsessed with you. It is not even funny. It's quite scary, actually. So, you know, that's why I have to be extra protective of my energy. But notice it doesn't stop me being so raw and real. I'm still going to be myself, but I've got to have a lot of protection around me, and it would certainly help if I had the dolphin like that. But like I said, I'm my fucking own divine feminine, divine masculine until that day comes. But yeah, I had a lot of that back in the day too, where people wouldn't be supportive, or like even like they'd think they were being subtle. Like, I had a lot of people that just didn't like my page and stuff like that, and it's all kind of like, it's all just like, oh, whatever, man. Do you know what I mean? That's why I'm glad I'm only on YouTube, so I don't need to get involved in all of that shit. I couldn't on it. How much Lexi knows that I couldn't stand things like. I just found it all too overwhelming, like Facebook groups and Instagram, and it was just all too much. And I used to question sometimes, am I being rude? And it's no, I was extremely overwhelmed, you know. So, so yeah, just, you know, everyone's different, you know. Some people like all of that. I'm not. It's too overwhelming. I mean, have you seen how overwhelmed I get when there's more people on the live stream? Which, I mean, you'd think people would be happy about that, but I freak out. So it might never be the case there's loads of people in the live stream. Disrespect, it's getting a bit darker now. Disrespect, stand up for yourself and demand respect. You deserve to be treated with dignity. That's exactly what I'm fucking saying about what I just channeled there. If you've got people around you that are not acknowledging that you're like a brilliant like seer or a psychic or a mystic, or they're not acknowledging that like you're like you've got this healing ability, or like, you know, or that you're a brilliant writer, or that you've got some other talent, I'm not mentioning a brilliant singer, like that is disrespectful to Sorry, well, I'm not saying out loud, but some of these are oh my god. Lexi, do you know I nearly made that person a moderator? I meant to hide them and I never that would have been a big mistake. That was quite funny. Sorry, I do laugh at some of these. What is that person saying? Green Topaz, are you oh no, I wasn't talking to you there, Louise. It's getting all a bit Pisces confusing now. I don't know about that other one. Have you just hid them? Have you taken it? No, they're still there. Green Topaz, are you genuine or are you yanking our chain? You're probably just going to say you're genuine anyway, but if you're genuine, like, do what you want. You know what I mean? What's that for me is I don't get it, but I always give it. Oh, disrespect. I don't know. I'm just pulling these randomly. I will do that now though. If people want a, well, actually, I think like if people want to make a donation, I'll do personal cards because I do need to get on with this. But otherwise, I'm gonna go. Let's see. Positive. Look at the positive with a positive perspective. I don't like the word positive, right? Because that can be toxic positivity. But it's like the other card that said, negative. It's like you've got to have a balance. Like we can't like what I was saying about some of the things I've spoke about in this. Life isn't all fucking sunshine and rainbows and positive all the time, but it equally doesn't need to be a big dark cloud around you all the time. And that's why it's like, I don't really trust if somebody's like completely like, oh, totally love and light and everything's all like, happy clappy. That's fake as fuck and it's people pleasing. But there are some people that do similar to me that they are here to be solely of the light and they're not here to talk on things like the shady things I've spoke about in this live, they're maybe even too sensitive for it, but that's not me. I'm extremely sensitive, but I am here to help people integrate their shadow and talk about the light and the shadow and help you accept that you have both too. Like you have a light and a shadow. Like none of us are perfect. We will have hurt other people unintentionally. And it's good to, just accept that about yourself as a healer, as a helper, whatever. But that's the fact if you can even reflect on that and take accountability and apologize, or, sometimes it's just about silently acknowledging, I don't like how I was back then. And I feel this came from that, or being around this kind of person. And that person's way off my radar. Like maybe you don't even have a way of contacting them. But even just saying like, telepathically or like in meditation, like I'm really sorry, like I've actually grown and learned and I'm kind of like ashamed that like it's quite empowering, you're freeing yourself, but that I do believe that will touch the person as well. But like I said, if you're in a position where you stumble across that person, like and you're able to do that, then that I respect people like that more, that have that are able to be like, I wasn't proud of how I acted in the past. That's what deliverance is about. But, that's what I help people with deliverance. It's like, I listen to people's stories where they, they weren't, that's a song, isn't it? I'm not a perfect person. What is that song again? Na, 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 na. That's why I want you to know I found a reason to love. What's that song? And the reason is you. That's not the... What is that song? I've actually no idea what that song's called, but I just heard it. I don't know. Anyway. I think we will... It's such a woke word now. Yes. What word? What word? I don't even like the word woke. Is it just called The Reason? Who sings that? Who sings it? I don't know what else there is here to do here, guys. But yeah, I like those cards. I think let's do a wee inner child card. By Hoobastank. Oh, I would never have got that. All right, that is really weird, by the way, that I've channeled that then. Because as you can tell, I've clearly heard it before, but I didn't have a fucking clue who it was. I wouldn't have had. I wouldn't even been able to guess. Connect to. Oh wow, this is very deep today. Let yourself be held by love. Yeah, that is very Venus and Pisces. Venus at the last of Pisces. Let yourself be held in love. And also the 9th is not going to be too far away. The 9th is endings. Pisces is endings. The 9th is Monday. So all being well, I'll be doing mediumship Monday on the 9th, but the 9th could be significant. Let's see what this says. Oh, positive, yeah. I know. People do use it in a really toxic way, isn't it? Oh, you're being too negative. You got to be positive. It's like, fuck off. You know what I mean? Just let me be in my shadow today. But like I say all the time, if I'm really, really in my shadow, I will be alone, you know. There's like being in your shadow and being empowered and talking about things that other people don't bring to the light. Which, like I said, that's not everyone's cup of tea to be the person to do that. It's not easy to do it. But clearly, with my Joan of Arc energy, I was born to do it. But again, it's still not easy for me either. I always have to stress that. It can be quite draining, right? Because people can misunderstand me, but whatever. Like, you know, I mean, I know who I am. If people are determined to misunderstand me and I don't know, even make up shit and whatever, like that's your fucking problem. You know what I mean? Go and find somebody else that you do understand then. It's kind of like in love too. Like, I mean, I've made that very clear about that too. I channel what I channel and talk about what I talk about on this journey. But if somebody's confused about me and somebody else, pick them. Because who the fuck wants somebody that is, you know what I mean? Like, no thanks. I said that years ago on a live stream and I fucking meant it. Like, that's why it's like, you know, I wouldn't want to hear from mine until it's like he's crystal clear, no pun intended. And can make up their own mind too. You should, but you know what I mean? If somebody's going by what everybody else says, like, no thanks. Like, I make up my own mind about who I love and who I want to be friends with and who I have my bit. You know what I mean? Nobody tells me what to do. So I don't, you know, that's the kind of man I need. God, that was quite passionate, wasn't it? So, and I believe you've got that in there, in you. You might already be there, but let's see. So, within us lies hundreds of worlds, thousands of lives, and millions of possibilities. We are infinite, stretching forever into the expanse of the universe. As beings of stardust and sunfire, we carry eternity within us. It is our remembrance of our essence that we find stillness and peace that extends past the borders of time. If you've pulled this card, it's time to connect with that eternity once more. Take some time today to go to your inner worlds and connect with the expanse of the divine. That's fucking amazing. That is totally this energy. Like, it's very dreamy. Right, I'm going to read this first day of spring break. What's that about? Everything that you say is something I'm trying to find the balance. Yeah, you were totally meant to be here. What are you talking about, Lexi? Is that what it is now? Spring break. That's so American, isn't it? The 9th. Oh, right, is it? It's spring break. Is that the thing where people like go away and get pissed and party and all of that? If it is, I remember that must have been before I came off of like. That must have been that long ago. That must have been before I came off it. My twin flame went. Is it Miami or something? Or is it? Where is that? Is it not? Am I way off? Obviously, that's not anything I want to hear about. Like when if ever we do connect, but like I just remember funny synchronicity. I know we're so gross as Americans. Yeah, well, obviously my twin flame wanted to go in and get on amongst it, and I'm sure people appreciated his energy. Good looking fucker. Anyway, right, so he's got a lovely soul as well, but yes, he is a beautiful man. Right, in all senses of the word. But so Yeah, just a week break from school and stuff. People go everywhere, not a specific place, really. I suppose since we can't go to Mexico, people. Is there one like in the? Is there one in the summer too? Spring break. I just know. I know it from like all the American films and that too. Right. Okay. Yeah. I think I think that's maybe what we just had when the schools were off and stuff. But fuck knows. I don't know. I really don't know. Right. So, Louise, whether you're back or not later, do you want a card? You know what I mean? Do you want a card before I go? And Lexi for your help. Summer break. I think nah. I'm sure it's spring break. I don't know. Right. I don't know, and I don't care. Right. Because clearly, when it comes to me and the other half of Mashal, I was the one that chose to like be like an old lady or something. I'm only joking. I was quite a party animal too, but I don't think anyone's as big as him. So, let's see. What have we got for Louise? Louise, did you say yes to it? I don't like pulling people a card. Oh no, she said I'll be back in a bit. She did want one though, so I don't know because it's really just something they do on films. Oh yeah, so maybe they do, maybe they make a bigger deal. I don't know. Have you ever watched that Vacation film? That is so fucking hilarious with Christina Applegate and the guy out The Hangover. Oh, that is so funny. Right, Louise, this is for you. So we'll tell you to catch it on replay. Togetherness. Spend time with your loved ones to experience the feeling of togetherness and to help achieve a more harmonious relationship. So, whether that is about love or other people in your life, you need to spend some time. Oh my! What are the chances that Louise has just been sharing about being Christian, and we've had all of this chat, and I pull a card that says "Trust in the Holy Spirit, God is with you." Right, I'm sorry. Drop the mic moment. Drop the mic moment. I hope, let's leave them out. I hope Louise comes back to see them before I finish the live. That is crazy. That is really crazy because I swear to God, I think this is the only card deck I've got that other than one that is meant to be, other than name, like they are scripture ones, and which actually I kind of thought that was quite interesting anyway because it's like, you know what I mean, they're cards, but and then yeah, there's no other deck I've got that mentions the Holy Spirit. But I might be talking shit. Maybe there probably is now, but not a lot of them. But I mean, come on, guys! Like that is definitely the only card in that deck like that. I think there's one. I think there's a card about prayer. I think there's one that says have faith, and there's one about prayer, and there's definitely one about twin flames. But I vote sweary unicorn cards. Like that's hilarious. Lexi, I tell you what, we'll make a compromise. I will use them on the live streams later, and even if you can't catch me live, I will pull one for you there. But I'm not getting out my bed to go and find them. I don't know where they are. But wow, that's blown me away. So I hope that means something to you, Louise. I feel like I want to pull one more. But I think that's just because, Louise was just saying that her family don't, resonate and stuff. Like, who cares? You know what I mean? Like I just said very passionately, I say that all the time. Look, I love my family, but if they don't agree with something, like if my family didn't support me doing this, well, sorry, but I couldn't give a fuck. Like, do you know what I mean? They thought it was a bit weird when I started doing it like 10 years ago, but actually it's taken a long time. But my family are very supportive of what I do. But like I said, when it comes to this, it's a bit weird. Like, I don't like talk about doing YouTube all the time, but they know. But it's just kind of like an unspoken thing. I do talk about my mum, but because it is a bit of an unusual thing to be doing, A, to be on YouTube, and B, to be talking about what I talk about. But get over it kind of thing. We're only here for a, here for a good time, not a long time. And I'm doing what I'm meant to be doing. So, right, Lexi, let's get your, I'm going to do one card for dreams. It's time to follow your dreams and aspirations. Exactly, right. Lexi, before you go, positive. Oh my God, that's hilarious. Look at the positive. Look at the situation with a positive perspective. That's clearly because you just said that about the word. Hilarious. Release any fears to the angels. and miracles. Love it. Oh, and there we go. That's what I was probably talking about. A prayer can bring miracles. So praying for you with whatever you need to release, Lexi, and I will catch up with you in a bit. Right. I think it's more realistically 7. Oh, you're still here. I think it's more realistically, you're welcome, 7. I think it'll be 7 that'll be live because I want to go in the member. I don't know, might be 6:30, but I want to go in the membership. But I think I'm just going to go and do that now. So it's a bit of a shame. I wanted Louise to come back and see that it was that card, but we'll tell her to catch it on the replay. So, well, this was interesting, wasn't it? I had every intention of picking up the phone and talking for half an hour at the max, and I have been 2 hours and exactly 10 minutes. But it is what it is, guys. It's, Libra Moon, love, peace and harmony, karmic justice. Let's talking of karmic justice, let's get a wee the cards again. Or one. Recognize relational wounds. Not every scar came from cruelty. Some came from absence, silence. There's a lot about silence today. Absence, silence, or unmet needs. Name what hurt you. Okay, so, it just so happens that the cards that came out about silence, I really resonate with, right? For me personally, and for me with my twin flame. And I don't think I would be wrong in saying that probably all of you resonate with the things about silence, because going silent on one another or one doing it to the other is a part of this journey. So this is a huge theme today. I feel it's about not making assumptions about why someone's silent or why they use silence, and however they use it, whether it be to process. Because again, think about it, a lot of people do need like ages to process, and that's, like I've got a few clients I work with, particularly a lot of the men I work with actually. Like, I mean, I'm keeping this anonymous, but I know that person actually wouldn't even mind like saying, well, actually, that's probably a bit much to say their name, but you know what I mean? It's kind of like men in general are like that. But I've actually helped, I'm really proud that I've helped a lot of men that we'll do like a Zoom, and I might not like get an email or hear from that person for like 3 or 4 months. And like, yeah, I could be worrying at certain points, I'm not going to lie. But like, I also trust because I'm so in tune. And I'll like, that's when I say I put a wee telepathic thought out to be like, you all right? I'm not snooping on you, I'm just checking, you're right. I'll just give it, or I'll be like, I'm praying for you. And then shit you not, like a couple of days later, I'll get a wee update. And that's because men do process a lot slower in general, but some women do too. But that's me talking about it from a client perspective, but with you and your twin flame as well, like, not everybody can talk about stuff like this. So whether that is you or whether that is about your twin flame, like, you don't actually know. You know what I mean? We're all different. Oh, what's going on with this? Released. Oh, God. Oh, fucking hell. Wait a minute. I think we need to get that. There's something going on today, isn't there? Release toxic attachments. Toxic ties drain your energy. Cut the cords and reclaim your freedom. This is what many people are doing right now. Because, with the shift of Saturn and Neptune into Aries, that's why I spoke about it all the last year. Like, a lot of people were going to make further karmic mistakes, but it's meant to be like lessons of getting involved in toxic relationships and stuff. And then when Saturn and Neptune went into Aries, that's a huge, big, massive wake-up call. And now we're, in Pisces season. It makes sense to me that, there still could be people that are trying to kind of gaslight themselves that they're in the right situation, or that you can, your friends aren't that bad, or your family aren't that bad, or whatever the deal is, or, this job isn't that bad, or like, it's kind of like, or I can live here another year, and it's like, you hate the place. Do you know what I mean? It could go on and on and on. But when the sun moves in Aries with the spring equinox, maybe that will wake up even more people. And don't forget, we're in a Mercury retrograde, so a lot of people currently will be realizing, I shouldn't have got into this. This is wrong. Like, it's not for me. Whether it's a job or a relationship or whatever, and it's, time to release the toxic ties, because that's what that full moon in Virgo that we just had was about. Because the new moon eclipse 6 months ago in Virgo was conjunct the south node, and then same again with the full moon, it's like, it's time to detox, detox your friendship where needed, detox your, yeah, look, healthy boundaries. I just fucking said this because it's God speaking through me. Set healthy boundaries. Healthy boundaries protect your energy. Stand firm in what you need to thrive. Pay extra attention to your boundaries with love today, actually, because that would be not a lot of boundaries. But like I said, if you're in a good place, it's a very, very romantic energy where you can merge as one, like the dolphins. Oh, that's beautiful. Right, okay, I think we need to go, guys. I think we need to... I'll pull one more of these. And then I'll end it on another one. Confirmation. Hello, Alexa. Playing... Oh, it's getting darker and darker as we go on. Playing mind games. They don't look fucking happy, do they? Demand honesty and refuse to engage in manipulative behaviour. Seek clarity and... Yeah, boom, drop the mic, absolutely. Whether it's a family member, a friend, a lover, definitely. And work in some cases. Like I said, I've had that in fucking professional experiences as well. Like loads actually. Because I know my shit when it comes to twin flames and love in general, which is weird when I've, not been in a proper relationship in this lifetime, which is the truth of it. It is kind of weird that I give good relationship advice. That's why I would be like, hello, clearly been a love guru in a past life or something. It's I don't put up with that. If somebody's playing mind games with me, drop me out. You know what I mean? No way. Definitely not in love. That's why I'm saying, like, the worst thing that somebody could do is, like, try to make me jealous, because it wouldn't work. What it would work is it would be like, well, you just fucked that, didn't you? Like, I'll just not forget that. Like, I don't, not putting up with any of that shit. But maybe it has, you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't have seen it. Even if mine tried to do that, I wouldn't have seen it, because I'm not interested. Because I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't put myself in the position to be hurt like that. Like, and if somebody cared about me and wanted to be any part of my life, friend or otherwise, they wouldn't do that. Because it's just playing games. Like, you don't play games with people that... Like, it's like friends too, that's what I'm saying. Like, unfortunately, I don't want to go... I'm trying to be respectful about it, because it's happened years ago. But I had several friends that have made the mistake. And now, maybe they don't see it, maybe they wanted rid of me. But I had some people that thought they could treat me a certain way, and well, they found out that's not the case. Do you know what I mean? It's like, you can't treat me like that and think I'm going to still be your friend. I couldn't care how long we've been friends for. Goodbye. Like, it's like in that, but that's called loving yourself. And then there we go. Equally, if you've got a parent that's treating you like that, no. Or that, if this always feels like the parent might be in the spirit world, but heal parent-child karma. Healing the bond of your parents frees you from the past. It's time to release old wounds and move forward. So I think that actually ties to one of the other cards I pulled, that if somebody, like, actually, for instance, like, people that use silence as, like, kind of like, punishment or something, probably came from a parent using that as punishment. You know what I mean? People, it's learned behaviours. Not always, but it makes a lot of sense in some cases. But then that wouldn't be good if yeah, think about it. Like, if you've had things like that in childhood and then somebody does that, it's triggering for you. So it's like they might be doing that, and then it's all fucked up, isn't it? But I'm sure lots of people resonate. And then that's why the cycle stops for you. So how do you, if silence was used against you at any point in your life, definitely in childhood, because we'd pulled the inner child card, the cycle stops with you. Start talking. Start being brave and trusting people, and you know what I mean? But that's not easy to do, which is why I help people with that in sessions. But the cycle stops with you. You're the one your ancestors prayed for. The pain ends in your hands. Choose differently tomorrow. No, it doesn't say that, does it? Choose differently now. And that's why the flashback from 3 years ago on my phone with the photo memories was the time is now. To choose differently is what I'd add on to that. Anyway, that's quite deep. I'm here for it. Let's get a word. Let's get a word for the feminine and a word for the masculine. Word for the feminine and the masculine's feminine side is presence. Oh, it's a very divine message today, isn't it? You've got a powerful presence, divine feminine. And sometimes you don't need words. You're just holding space can be... and actually think about it, like holding space for somebody to heal, whether it is your divine lover or... Welcome, Jonathan. Or a client, if you're in that position. It's right. The masculine and the feminine's masculine side communicate. Right. I think that's such. See what I mean about the synchronicity. That's quite. I mean, it's no nuts than anything else that happens, but that is quite nuts because the main cards that were coming up is that somebody is not speaking, so it makes perfect sense that all the masculine needs to open up is the feminine's powerful presence. I'm sorry, I was really tempted. I'm going to make the joke. I was going to be like, so feminine, shut your mouth. Zip it. just listen. But seriously, it's like quite nice, really. Right, okay, I'm going to end that there. So it is now nearly 5:30. So I'm going to go and... I better go and have a wash. I'm going to go and have a bath. And then I'm going to get dressed. And I'm going to get my shit together. And I'm going to come and... channel I'm going to pop into the membership for a little bit before that. I'm just going to go in for like a wee 15-minute, 20-minute hangout, prayer circle, and then yeah. But anyway, so I'll see you. If I see you, I'll see you later if you want to come and join me, people. And I hope you got something from this. And like I said, even the shadier stuff that I was talking about, like more like kind of reflecting on some people that have made mistakes and, you know, about twin flames and stuff. It's, look, all lovely people, you know, some people have, you know, yeah, anyway, all lovely people, but none of which, to be honest, I tune into anymore because I just thought, well, there's something a bit weird about that, but also it just showed me that I actually knew a little bit more about the journey. And it doesn't and can I just stress, I actually tune into people that haven't got as much experience as me, and I enjoy watching them and stuff like that, but it's I don't like to tune into people when they don't sort of, you know, accept and take accountability. I just think I lose respect, you know what I mean? But I'm sure you get what I'm saying, but if you don't, then whatever. I've tried to make it, you know, clear what I mean. Right, anyway, see you later. Look, it's 222. Love it. 222. Love and partnership on a Libra moon. Right, see you later. Bye. And thanks for your help, Lexi.